Okay. Welcome, everybody, to another NYY News Roundtable. Folks, first let me say we have Austin here, we have Arby, but we're going to have the full team. Francis is on his way, Joe is on his way, so there's going to be a lot of conversation. Obviously, we have a lot to talk about. I think fans are excited to hear what we have to say. I know I got a lot of comments already being like they're waiting for NYY News rant storm today from us. So, yeah, guys, I mean, let's start with this because not everybody's there yet. We saw the game today. We still saw some errors being made. We saw some sloppy baseball. We saw an offense who has yet to take off at any point this year. So, I saw somebody say the offense is getting going. I'm looking around saying, what offense has gotten going yet? Like, what game are you watching? The only time, if we talked about last time, when the Yankees actually had good pitching, they still won games, but they didn't score a lot. So the offense is still a problem, guys. Austin, we'll start with you and then just go from Arby. I mean, what has to happen here?
I guess the only good thing you can say about today is DJ got 2 hits again. Multi-hit game for him. Judge, hopefully back spasms won't be too much. Torres, Gio kind of look like they're turning the corner. Even Gary a little bit, as much as some fans kind of just want to give up on him. He's looking a lot better lately at the plate.
Big time.
And Andujar. But you still have 3 basically automatic outs when Stanton's not in the lineup, which he's not because he can't play the outfield.
Unbelievable.
I thought the new training staff would fix things for us, but injuries are still happening. And, I mean, hopefully we get Voit back soon. I think he's more important to this team than a lot of people realize. But even then, you still have an automatic out somewhere, and this team just needs somebody who can actually put the ball in play, which right now it's Gio, Andujar, and LeMahieu are the only ones I really trust to do that consistently.
Yeah. I'm right there with you. You bring up a good point too with Big G. I mean, I can keep going back to this trade for the longest time. My father is a huge Judge fan. And I remember the moment they signed and I told him about the trade of Stanton coming over, the first thing he told me was, why? Because they got Judge. What was the point? And I said, at the time you were excited. I was like, well, no, because, you add these 2 monsters to the lineup, it makes everything better. But then you start seeing this guy can't run. He can't play the outfield no more. And then the Yankees got your Andujars, your Voits, and the list goes on and on of guys that could DH. And now you got a guy who is making a lot of money DHing. So, yeah, that's definitely a big concern. But you also make a good point. And then I'll throw it over to Arby of DJ LeMahieu. I mean, these are a couple of multi-hit games now. Big home run the other day. If anybody gets the Yankees going, I think it's that guy at the top of the order. Arby, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree with you what you're saying about DJ. Everybody was down on him because he had a horrible start.
Trade him.
Trade him to St. Louis, Seattle for prospect. He's declining.
Robinson Cano
for their 30th prospect.
Yeah.
For a single prospect, trade him for Robinson Cano, a player that's suspended for the year. So, but he's declining. It's good to know. Somebody out there, he's not declining. All right, he's our for the future. But but it's good to see DJ coming around. Like you said yesterday, he hit that big 3-run homer to tie the game. It would have been nice to steal that game. And today another multi-hit game. So if he continues to start, with the DJ that we know, I feel like the rest of the players behind him can probably catch up on that as well, hopefully. But it's good to see Gary Sanchez, coming alive as of late. I think in the past 12 games, he's batting over 300.
Yeah.
Like I tweeted earlier a couple of days ago, I'm sticking with Gary Sanchez for the rest of the year. Like, I don't care if he's struggling on offense. Listen, I get with the whole preference with Garrett Cole and Higgy. Oh, that's fine. Just if that's the case, then let them both be their duo. But other than that, Gary all the way. I don't care if he's struggling offensively. Defense, yes, he's average, but as of late, you see some of the plays that he has done behind the plate, gunning people out at second, and of course with the bat as of late, like I've said, he's been hitting home runs, getting hits, getting on base. So like I said, once Gary plays his A game, he's one of the best in the league. But we just need to see that consistency from him. And with Andujar, like you said, Pete, he's a savior.
Miggy Smalls.
Miggy Smalls has told Clint Frazier, "Listen, I'm taking your spot." And,
you're spot on. I just wanted to jump into on Sanchez because that's something we could talk about. The one thing I want to say is he is getting to the point now where he's doing what I actually asked about him. Because if you guys remember, I think it was on one of the podcasts me and Ryan did, where I said, enough with this big expectation. Give me 225, hit 25 homers, and drive in 70 RBIs. And you're arguably one of the best catchers in baseball.
Exactly, yeah.
That is all I've said. And just some improvement on defense. Improve a little on defense. And look, I am happy. And so I think the problem, well, the actual problem with Gary, a lot of it did have to do early on with conditioning, with staying on top of him. I'll give the guy a pass. He's back. He's doing well. He looks good. You can't call the guy a fat slob. He looks excellent. Gary looks like he's in great shape. He definitely bust his ass playing baseball. I think that's behind us. Does he still make some boneheaded errors? Yeah, but let's also be fair. We'll get to this later. I want all the guys to be here when we talk about this. But the entire club is getting thrown out on the bases every damn day. It's not the same guy. This is going from the best, who is Judge, to arguably the worst, Odor or Sanchez. I mean, these guys are doing this often. So, look, all the props in the world to Gary Sanchez. I hope he is the guy, not even the guy that we thought he would be. I hope he's a good catcher. And he has one more year of arbitration, probably going to make $6-7 million or so. Worth it if he hits 20-plus homers, could bat above 220. Worth it. And I'm sorry, I'm still kind of an old school guy. I like batting average a little bit. So I still like to see above 220. I like to see 225, 230 for my catcher. We really got spoiled with Jorge Posada all those years. But, I mean, Gary Sanchez is a huge part of the lineup. And you guys know how I feel about Miggy Smalls. I'm Miggy Smalls all day. If that man could walk a little bit, he'd be a 300 hitter on average every year.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Every year. The good thing about Miggy Smalls right now, because everybody's saying that he doesn't have trade value. Now they're seeing that he can play somewhat of a good defense in the outfield. We've seen him playing first base, So if he keeps this up, people are saying, do we trade him at right now?
It's a good question. See, I'm with Austin. Here's the reason. Let me tell you the reason.
To be honest, I wouldn't.
You need guys that make contact. You can't just trade a guy that makes contact anymore.
Yeah.
This team, it's funny because before this started, I said, man, the big question is definitely going to be that people are going to want to hear is, do we believe this team has a shot? And I'll be honest with you, it's going to be tough, but I do think there's a window of opportunity if the right moves are made. Now, my question is, I don't know if Brian Cashman is the guy to make those changes. I just don't, because I don't see that confidence in him anymore. He put all these guys on his team. You can't blame anybody else for who's on his roster. You just can't. So my whole thing is, yes, Austin, I'm with you. Arby, I think you're probably in the same boat as we are. I would find it very, very difficult right now to say, let Andujar go. Even if the Yankees don't make the playoffs, don't you feel it's warranted to let him get a lot of reps in left field to see if he's there for good?
Exactly. Yeah, I agree with you. But now what do we do with Clint?
He could go ahead and pack his bags and start walking to Somerset, because I think he needs a trip back to Double-A to be quiet. No joke. You know why? How many Major League ball plays have you seen come up and they're confused about the way their batting stance is? That's not a good sign.
Yeah, it's not.
His average changes his stance changes by the at bat.
Yeah,
by the at bat.
He said it as well.
Extremely confused. You can't make adjustments like that at this level. You can't do it.
You gotta be confident already.
Telling you, if you want to hold on to him, you're gonna have to go all the way down and work yourself back up.
Yeah, Yeah, I'm with you guys about not trading Andy. Or you just can't like he's as of late since this Minnesota Twins series, like he's been hit. He's been hitting.
What is he hitting?
People-
Like 347 over his last, I forgot how many games it is.
I think, yeah, probably. I think 330. I think. I'm not sure.
think Brian Hoke, while you guys chat, let me see. I think Brian Hoke tweeted about it today.
But
I think I pulled up MLB.com.
Okay. I'm pretty
But
sure it's
yeah.
like the high three over 330 at least.
In his last 7 games, he's hitting 308 with a 345 on base.
Okay.
And in his last 15, 283, 304 on base.
Oh, so maybe I had him a little more hyped than I thought.
Still,
yeah,
I'll take 283 on this team right now.
Hell yeah. Oh, here it is. So here it is. Here's what Hoke wrote. Miguel Andujar is 13 for 38 with 5 homers and 10 runs in his last 10 games. So that's 342
that'll be better than everybody.
in his last 10.
So
But,
actually, I want to give one guy some love that has gotten nothing but hate this year. And I might get hate for it in the comments. Brett Gardner.
Oh, I was going to say Tyler Wade. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Do you guys realize Brett Gardner in his last 15 games is hitting 281 with a 415 on base?
Yeah. Well, that's why I wrote the other day, Constant Gardner, because at the end of the day, I mean, he does this every year. He bothers fans.
Yep.
It's like he gets them angry and then he's like, okay, I'm getting playing time. I'm not joking when I say this. Give me a healthy Brett Gardner over Aaron Hicks. Healthy.
Absolutely.
Both of the players are healthy. I'm sorry.
Absolutely.
Aaron Hicks sucks. He is the luckiest player in baseball to get a 70. What do you got? 70 million?
Yep.
Yeah.
I would pray every single day about 12 times, 10 times, just for the 10 million, each million.
But my thing is, people asking me, "Oh, we gotta trade Hicks. Who's gonna pick up Hicks? First of all, he's injured. Who's gonna want Hicks?"
They've worked themselves into a jam with a couple of guys, and when everybody else gets on too, there's a couple of questions that I'm holding off that I think really require some decisions up front and now. And I think Aaron Hicks is going to be one of those guys that requires some sort of decision on the Yankees of what they're going to do. But as of now, go ahead. What was that?
No, I was saying like the only way I can see them moving on from Hicks if they eat some of his contract. Like,
yeah,
that's the only way I can see it.
Yeah, probably even most of it. Austin's right. The $10 million a year isn't insane at all, but it's a lot for a guy who can't stay on the field, and teams know that by now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know if I was looking for a center fielder and the Yankees said, hey, he's available, I'll tell him flat out, if you want to give him to us.
Yeah.
If you're giving him to us, if you're paying most of his contract, hey, we'll look to take him on $2 or $3 million. That's it. I'm not paying him $10 million. I'm not eating your mistake.
Yes, yeah. It's like another Jacoby Ellsbury 2.0.
Oh, completely. That's a funny thing to talk about. Somebody brought that up. Did you guys see Brian Hoke's question to Boone? When Boone kind of snapped
about the players getting used to losing.
Yes.
And it feels that way.
What is Boone supposed to say?
It looks that way.
It looks that way.
I mean, like some people were like, I can't believe Brian would ask that question. Why not? There should be a lot tougher questions being asked to Boone.
Yeah.
I would have asked them flat out. I said, Aaron, have you found your balls yet?
He left those in Baltimore.
Those been left. The moment, I'm not even joking, man. There's been 2 times this season where I'm like, what the hell is going on here? The one that nobody made a big deal of, but I felt like I'm the only guy making a big deal about, is when he said he was bullied by the umpire, which I thought was just beyond insane. I've never heard a major league manager say something like that. And then
imagine being at the game.
Oh, that's even worse. You were at that game?
That's the game I was at in Baltimore.
That's right. My goodness.
Yep.
Horrible. That's like a stain in your life.
When I literally got up, I think it was the 7th inning. I got up to go to the bathroom and get a Gatorade when it was the top of the 7th, so between the 6th and 7th. By the time I got back to my seat, no line had either stopped. The Yankees, half of the inning was over.
Oh my goodness.
Yep.
That, and then so yeah, that's like a stain in your life, man. That's terrible.
Yeah.
So that one, and then also letting Nevin. The man's ill. The man got an IV in his arm, and the man's oh, don't hold me back. I'm going. Like, whoever's going to hold me back, it don't matter. I'm going out there. And Boone is like, oh, all right, boys, calm down. Take it easy. You got to go out there. You got to run out there in front of the man. How do you let that happen?
There were people that were okay with that, with Boone not coming out.
They're nuts. They're out there.
They were like, if what's the difference that Boone's gonna make of him coming out? Like, he's not gonna change the umpire's decision.
But that's not the point of it.
Exactly. I agree. It's the players.
And you're the man. That's like, for an example. That's like, for an example, right? You have a team around you, and your boss comes in, and you're the manager, so you're expected to talk up. But then the dude next to you, who's like your underling, comes out and is like, well, here's what's wrong. This is wrong. That's wrong. This is wrong. This is wrong. This, and you're like, damn, you're not even gonna let me speak. Like, no, I got to take charge on that stuff. Like, what are you doing? Mm-hmm. It's like that. And look, if I'm on the club and I'm a player on that team, when I see stuff like that, I'm like, damn, our manager can't even go out there. Like, what's going on with this team?
Exactly.
There's issues, though. There's issues in that clubhouse.
I said that in the last roundtable.
There's issues.
There's a disconnect.
If you listen to a lot of the players' conversations after the game, there was the one, I think, Arby, me and you talked about that one, where Gio paused for like 3 minutes.
Yeah.
And he looked mad. Like, he looked visibly angry.
Yeah.
And he paused when they asked him what's wrong with the team. And he took a while to say. And then that time, Judge was like, we got to start playing as a team again. We're not playing like a team.
Yeah, that's when Joe said that Glaber is playing for himself because he's trying to model.
Yeah, he's doing like modeling and all this other stuff.
And I said everybody's playing for themselves. You know,
this team needs to hire the manager from Major League, the movie.
Yeah. Like man. They can hire Roger Dorn at this point.
What the hell's his name again? What's the manager's name?
Oh
again?
Gosh,
somebody know. Lou Brown.
Lou Brown.
Lou Brown. All right, Joe's about to join us. The good old Lou Brown. That's what we need in this team. That's called a winning streak.
We need Serrano.
We need Serrano. We need some of that. We need some of that.
Joe Boo.
Yeah, Joe Boo.
Yeah.
We need some of that Cuban voodoo that he was doing. The Cuban magic.
Heck, why don't we get what was the guy they got from the Yomiuri Giants in Major League 2? Wasn't his last name Tanaka? Tanaka, yeah. The guy
I'll
with, take him at
you
this
have
point.
no marbles. Marbles.
Great. That's what we need to say to Aaron Boone.
Yeah.
He has no marbles. Look, man, I'm telling you, if you guys remember when I did my rant video, I said, Yankee fans, if you do not go to Yankee Stadium and start the chant every day of Fire Boone, you're not doing your job. I'm not joking. That should be a constant chant daily because public pressure means something, especially when it's coming at your own stadium. They did it one game. Yeah. And I was like, man, that sounds nice. That needs to be a constant going forward. It needs to be a constant. I'm not for any man losing his job. But at the end of the day, man, we are 65 games into the season. The Yankees are what, 33 and 32?
Yeah.
Come on, man.
As of now, we're not in the playoffs. And we don't even have the second wild card.
They don't deserve it.
Boston and Houston are the ones that have the first and second one.
I saw somebody tweet the other day and they said, it's not a good idea for the Yankees. The best thing that can happen to the Yankees, something like that, is that after all these fans talking crap, they make it and they do whatever in the postseason. I'm just like, what has that changed since 2009? That hasn't changed nothing. Just getting there and losing, they've become okay with that. They found success in that. When your owner and your GM are openly saying that is okay, there's something wrong there.
Mm-hmm.
So the best case scenario, if you really want change, is this team to fall flat in their face.
Yeah.
And we're not advocating for that because I'm not. I would love to see the Yankees bounce back. I think it would be amazing to see them make the right moves, and this team looks great. But if you really want change that we can expect, I do think something like that may have to happen.
No, I think that's the only way, the only solution, because 100%. It's ridiculous. Since 2009, we haven't won. Like, this is the Yankees we're talking about, not no Cubs. It's the Yankees. Is always high expectation. Win the World Series or you bust. But I guess in the front office, it's all right. We made the wild card. We got eliminated. It's all right. We try to improve over the offseason, and we'll be
Mhm.
back next year.
And that's what we
No.
don't want to hear because that's just been the same deal. It's been the same deal.
You know, we're getting sick of it as fans. Like, when do we get to hold that World Series and have a parade? Like, come on. You know,
With the payroll and the talent of this team, we talked about it last time, RB too. Teams like the Rays who don't have our payroll, teams like the Dodgers, the Padres, look at what those teams have done with payroll and farm systems.
exactly.
They make the trades they want to make when they can, and they know they could do it. And they
Yeah.
sign players that they know they can sign because they can do it.
And they don't care about the luxury tax. They don't care.
The Yankees
Dodgers
have
don't
all
care.
that. The Yankees have all that. That's
And-
what bothers me so badly is that they have all that. They just have not been able to build the right club. The philosophy has been wrong.
It's terrible.
There's no getting around that. It's been a philosophy thing.
The
Yeah, that's a
Dodgers
good
run
one.
that team the way the Yankees used to.
Yes, that spot on. Spot on. There is no if we can do it, we're gonna do it.
Exactly. That's it.
That's the way. Look what bets. I mean, they get bets and they go, all right, yeah, what do you want? It's no long drawn out process that takes the media involvement and little comments under the table. It's okay. It's a done deal. We want you here. Let's negotiate. We'll have it done by the end of the night, and it's done.
They won the World Series and signed Trevor Bauer
and
off of a Cy Young season.
But after signing Betts.
Yeah.
There you go.
Betts, Kershaw, Bauer making probably what, 110 million a year between the three of them?
100 plus.
Yeah.
100
Seager
plus.
in arbitration's probably 15 to
Let's see
20.
what the Dodgers do with Kershaw by the end of the season, because this is his final year.
Yeah. So let me see. There's a. Hey, Joe, are you on? Joe.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Hey, there he is.
There we go.
There he is. So I just wanted to make sure you were on.
Yeah, I thought I was like, what's wrong with my mic? There we go.
You all good, man. Mr. Thompson, our good friend who's always on here with us, go over some comments real quickly. So happy to see Andahar coming around. He must play every day. I think we were all in agreement on that one.
Yep.
Terry said, isn't Sanchez just on a 1-year deal right now? Correct me if I'm wrong, but I do believe he has one arbitration year left.
I
don't think
you're
he's a free
right,
agent.
but I can check.
Please check on that. Yeah, because I don't think he's a free agent right now. I think he has one more arbitration year left. What does Odor do for this team? Thoughts?
Well,
hopefully punches Boone in the locker room after the game.
That's what he needs to do.
Oh man, I give him money. I would pay him.
But what kind of expectations do we have for Odor?
I don't think we have any expectations for Odor. I mean, if everyone's healthy, Odor's a really good bench player, and that's what they got him for. They didn't expect him to play him there every day.
Right. The underperformance of the guys that should be performing make guys like Odor look really bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. When in actuality, for a bench player, he really isn't.
No, not at all.
Bad.
And he's getting paid peanuts to the Yankees.
I don't think the Yankees are paying him anything.
Nothing.
No,
That's what I'm
we're not
saying.
paying him anything.
All they're doing is buying his lunch.
I will say I don't like having a bench player who can play one position though. That would be my knock
agree
on
with
him.
that. I agree with that.
Gary is a free agent.
2022, right? No, not 2023.
ARB eligible 2022, 2023 free agent.
Okay, so he has one more year under arbitration, so he can make himself into another year for the Yankees.
Yeah.
Imagine him having a good year next year and the rest of the year. He's gonna be looking for some money. See what they do.
He'll get it. He's not getting it from the Yankees. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, I know.
So that's my question.
Tell you guys one thing. Oh, go ahead, Arby. I'm sorry.
No, I was gonna say, let's say the Yankees decide, listen, I don't think Gary is the catcher for us in the future after next season. Are they gonna stick with Higgy, or are they gonna go internally?
No,
Like,
they'll go after somebody else. They're people make it out to, because I always see the idea of statistic wise, Gary's one of the best offensive catchers, fine, but there's also a lot of guys out there that can actually catch, that can literally catch every single day and still make a little bit of contact, and may not be your high average guy or big homer guy, but there's still a lot of guys out there. I think Zunino's going to be a free agent again.
Yeah, I think next year.
Next year, that's an option.
Isn't Zunino kind of what Gary is?
Similar, but he's a much better catcher, though.
Well, yeah, true.
He's a much better catcher. Now, I don't think there'll be any problems with him catching a game with anybody. The other guy is another name. I mean, again, I know the Pirates pretty well, so that's why I look at a lot of those names. Jacob Stallings is another guy who's very much defense first, has a good arm, plays basically every day over there. But another guy whose bat is halfway decent, not great. But there's options out there because I know for a fact the Yankees got some big contracts coming up.
Yeah.
Aaron Judge needs to be signed.
Yeah.
That's a tricky one because this year he's having a great year. This year,
And look out for Anaheim. That's all I'm gonna say. Look out for Anaheim.
what did I say last roundtable?
Could you imagine him, Trout, and Ohtani with Rendon and Fletcher?
Let me tell you something. I'm just keeping it real. Don't be shocked if that were to happen.
They better get a haul. They better get a haul back. If they trade Justin Angel, they better get something back big.
Not even that. He could go as a free agent.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
The Yankees haven't signed him. Why? Let me ask you something. If you're Aaron Judge, you've seen Luis Severino get a contract. You've seen Aaron Hicks get a contract. You're sitting there every year, one by one, right?
Yeah.
At what point do you go, all right, I'm cool with just making you guys, I'll wait for you guys. Give me a deal.
No,
At
hell
what
no.
point do you go, no, y'all want to see what other teams think of me? Or how valuable I am? You don't think the Angels would drop 8 years on Judge? Even if it brings him to his late 30s?
The first day. The first meeting,
yes.
8 years.
Yes, 100%. If that's what it takes, yes. Yes.
Yeah, that's a. Now, would you go 8 years with Judge right now?
On the Yankees, no. No, they can't.
What's the max would you go for?
5, 6.
I do 5 or 6, yeah.
Wait, are we talking? Am I going 8 years with him when he's a free agent, or would I do it like tomorrow?
Let's say this offseason.
Nah, I wouldn't even do it today. I'd just go 5, 6 at the
What
end
is he,
of the
20? What is he, 28 or 29?
28,
26 when he came up.
He's probably 28, 29 now because I think he's a free agent like in 2 or 3 years.
Let me see. Judge. He's.
Guys, I would love to be manager of the Yankees. A
29.
couple of people in there just said, Pete, become manager. I would love to be.
He's 29.
I mean, I'd be fine. He's 29.
29. So imagine.
Let me tell you something. I drop an 8 on him. Joe, don't get mad at me, Joe. I drop an 8.
I don't know.
Joey, I'm dropping an 8.
I think if you sign him tomorrow, you can get away with dropping 6.
I mean, if we're talking about.
If we're having a negotiation here and I'm Judge, I'm looking at Boone in the face saying you gave 7 to Hicks. Shut up. I want 8.
That's true. That is true.
True.
But what's he making a year though? That's what I want to know.
That could be Cashman's smart ass response. Well, if you want 10 million a year, no, I'll give you 10.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
We'll do a 10-year, $100 million deal. I'll be happy to do it.
I'll probably push it to 7.
What was Jeter's contract? Wasn't it like 8 and
10
it was like 10 to 10?
10 for 189.
Yeah, 10, 189. Yep.
I'll probably push it to 7.
Who's a better player? Here we go.
Depends. Do you listen to Twitter or do you listen to what you actually saw on the field for 20 plus years?
The hell with Twitter, please. I love this. All of a sudden, Jeter's this most overrated player that ever lived. God, I'm like.
All I say is kiss his 5 rings.
Well, it's the same thing like with Jordan.
Yeah.
There's still a debate. Like who would you want in this big game? Jordan. You know
not
what I
even
mean?
a question.
It's not even a question. Like if somebody were to come to me and be like, all right, you're building a team and this team has to win this game. Yeah, my shortstop's Jeter. There's no doubt about it. My shortstop's Jeter over prime A-Rod, over any of them.
Yeah.
Just because the intangibles. It's amazing.
Yeah,
we go from Judge to.
What Pete froze?
Oh, he froze. Yeah,
I'm here.
Oh, okay.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we got you now.
You know what, Pete?
Right,
what the hell? 8 years. Screw it. I bite the bullet.
I mean, I consider it.
It's not that bad. I mean, what does it put him to? It puts him at what? 37?
37.
Yeah, I mean.
Well,
But
38
look at
because
Cruz.
this year's already signed.
How old
Bro,
is Cruz?
Stanton.
Stanton.
He can never
Stanton.
DH. How much more does Stanton got in this deal? 6
What's
years?
this? His 4th year? So
Something
yeah,
like
6
that, yeah.
after this one.
Oh my God.
You can add him to another list of Cashman's horrible trade if he's permanent DH. If he plays outfield and does good, then okay.
He's never
But
RB. He's never playing the outfield.
So what happens in the World?
that's-
What if we do make the World Series? Is he playing? What's happening?
no,
Like
You better-
someone said today, that's putting the horse before the float.
you know what pisses me off? Boone comes out and says, "Oh, Stanton's not playing
Oh, Boone's full
in
of
this
shit.
series because he can't play outfield. But later on in the season, we're gonna play him in outfield. What the hell's the difference there? You put him
It's-
now.
It's like my guy just said in the comment. Boone's got a huge Kikuchi. We're gonna start it again. LI Yankee King wants Kikuchi over here. I'll give you a Kikuchi. Boone got one already. We don't need another one.
No, but seriously though, like, what's the whole point of waiting later on in the season? Oh, Stanton, go play in the outfield. What do you have to lose? Yeah, I understand. People say injuries, but come on.
Here's the other thing about that. Can you trust him out there after not playing all year? What are you gonna do? Just
Me?
throw him out there?
Me, no, I can't trust him because of the injury factor. But then again, who knows? Like, if Stan himself needs to go up to Boone and listen, Boone, today I'm playing left field. That's it.
I agree with that. That's what my dad said today.
I
He
agree.
has to.
I was
Like,
cracking up, man. My pops was hot today. I wish I tried to record the conversation, but I couldn't in time. But last time he got mad at me when I did it without him knowing. I said I gotta get it authentic. Gotta be authentic with you though.
listen, people,
But no, man, he was hot because he said he would do the same thing.
yeah.
At the end of the day, I'm not like he said they're switching Judge in center field, Judge here, this one here, Andujar here, switching all these guys over. And this guy is like, yeah, you're just a DH, buddy. Don't worry, you're fine at that DH spot. Just stick around.
I mean, the Yankees wouldn't withstand yesterday in left field, so especially how Hotty's
Yeah.
been.
Yeah.
Is it,
Sucks.
that's another thing. Like, Stan has been hot at the plate. We need him every day. Like, there's no
100%.
like, why does he need to rest? For what? He's DH.
Yeah, that's right.
Like, what the hell are we resting him for?
I don't understand. Look, I get it. I get it's a long season. I get you want to give guys breaks. The thing that's odd to me is when I look at this roster and I look at the team, something that's never happened is what I would do. I would love to see Stanton and Judge share the time in right field and DH. You keep them both off their legs a little bit. Right field is an easier position to play for Stanton. It's smaller in Yankee Stadium.
Yeah.
That's how I always thought it would happen. I was like, okay, good. They'll probably switch them up. They'll DH and both of them get their legs rested. They get half a day off and you manage it that way. But I'll be honest, I am not a huge fan of a full-time DH. Never have been. And I'm just not. I like having that as more of a rotating thing, but that doesn't seem too popular in baseball.
Well, that was working for us for a while when we had like Sanchez DH one day, Voit DH one day, Judge. That was kind of,
Yeah.
it was working for a while.
And it's tough because, there's still a lot of different things that we have to talk about today. But one of the big things still is the construction of this roster. It's hard to see even what they do at the deadline because there was a couple of things I was thinking about. If they get a guy like Adam Frazier, let's say for an example, what do you do with him?
I put him in center field and I don't worry about his defense.
I mean, that might be one of your only options. And per the people I talk to that watch that are big Pirates fans and know a lot about the Pirates, he's not a good outfielder. So, and I know like
Neither is Clint Frazier.
Well, exactly. And you already said it. You said at the end of the day, you don't worry about his defense. You get him in there for his bat.
No.
And that might be the option you'd have to take and just say to hell with it. We're going to see what it is and run with it and see if you catch lightning in a bottle. He would probably arguably be one of the best defensive infielders on the team that wouldn't be able to play the infield because you're not putting him at second base unless you trade Voit before getting him.
That's a big question right there. Voit is the hot name. I'm telling you, he's probably going to be the odd man out if you're going to make a big trade.
Man, that sucks. They're going to get rid of my lumberjack.
Voit has no value right now.
I love you, Voit.
How are they going to get rid of my lumberjack?
I think Voigt's too valuable to this team. Remember when
And I agree.
when Encarnacion left the Blue Jays and their offense absolutely tanked?
Yep.
That's kind of what I think Luke Voit is to the Yankees.
Could be.
I mean, he's not because he's not the best player on the team.
Right.
I would say that is Judge. Just like when Encarnacion left them, I would have said the best player was Bautista.
Right.
Or you can even go to the Red Sox when Ortiz retired. The best player on the team was Betts.
Yep.
But
But
They
here's a good
lost
question,
his
though.
protection.
But here's a good question. Are you guys worried about his injury history? Like he's been getting hurt significantly recently. Like every year, it's something big happening to him. So
I'm worried about everybody in the Yankees when it comes to injuries
that's
True.
true. That's true.
at this point. I mean, I've
True.
never seen anything like this.
Because if we stick with Voit long term, and then this injury history keeps happening, like now we're gonna be another dilemma now with Voit.
Well, Voigt's
He-
controlled for what, another 3 years?
I think.
Years 3+.
3+.
I think it's actually 3+, maybe 4.
Okay. I mean, by then, do you hope Austin Wells is ready to come in? Do you try and avoid giving him a big deal, but ride him as much as you can? I mean, the guy led the league in home runs last year. And
Yeah,
Austin Wells is not catching in the future.
No, Austin Wells is definitely not a catcher. I think his position will eventually be first base, and I wouldn't be shocked if that happens fairly soon, sooner than expected.
You mean him getting promoted or him switching?
No, him switching to first base full time,
Okay.
and they kind of just dropped the whole catching thing, because he's not a good defensive catcher right now, and he's an older guy. It's not like Gary Sanchez when he's 16 years old, catching in the Dominican Winter League and the Dominican Summer League with the Yankees and things like that. Growing up in that position, not saying that he hasn't played there a long time, it hasn't really caught on where you see him as a future regular catcher. Nobody really sees him as that. They got him there now. I think more as just a kind of wait and see type approach to see if something clicks, or with the professional coaching at this level, maybe he gets better. But Austin Wells got everything to be a really good first baseman. He's tall, he's a target, and lefty bat. He can hit for average. Could be a really, really good pickup for the Yankees. Could be a really, really good player for him. But yeah, I have trouble just sitting back being like deal Voit. I still have trouble in my mind with that one.
Oh yeah, I'll be hesitant as well. I'm not saying like, oh, get rid of Voit, because I love Voit. But if a great deal appears on the table and they want Voit, well, then again, it depends who it is. But he might be the odd man because then Voit, DJ switches over to first. Then it creates a second base.
I always kind of felt like too when the Yankees signed LeMahieu that was part of their plan eventually. Just because the 6 years, he's not going to be playing second or third base for 6 years.
No.
I mean, that also just doesn't make sense. And the likely position for him is first. And you got to be fair with a guy like LeMahieu. LeMahieu is always going to be a solid to, average defender. And at first base, he doesn't have to worry as much about range.
Yeah.
What he mainly has to worry about over at first base is playing that position every single day and getting used to that. So that's the big thing for him.
Yeah, and then another name, then let's say DJ's to first, Glaber. What do we do with what do the Yankees do with Glaber? Like, are they comfortable with him in short moving forward?
It's the crazy questions of construction of this lineup. It's a position that and we can I think Francis is joining us now also. But we can really dig in on that for a little while and then talk about the more injuries the Yankees have now, especially on the pitching side with Luis Severino and what his future with the team looks like. I think that's a big question. I think that's a really big question that needs to be answered. So another guy that got a big contract with the Yankees and hasn't played.
Real quick,
what is that, 4 years?
Go ahead, Austin.
I think it was 4 years, 40 million, something like that.
4 years, 40, something like that, yeah.
So I was talking with some of the MLB Marathon guys the other day, and Brian Reynolds' name came up.
Never going to happen.
And I just more of a hypothetical, I guess. Right. But if the Yankees, if you knew that Brian Cashman's plan this offseason was, hey, I'm going to go out and I'm going to sign, be it a Trevor Story, a Corey Seager, whatever, would you right now trade Gleyber Torres for Brian Reynolds?
Yes.
Yeah.
In a heartbeat.
100%. You want to know? I'll tell you why. He is more of what the Yankees need than what Gleyber Torres is to the Yankees right now.
I agree 100%.
I agree. Yeah.
That's the only way to put it.
I agree 100%.
And
you're muted.
Can you guys hear him? I can't hear him.
Nope.
I can't hear him either.
Yeah, his mic went out.
Anyway, what's up, boys?
What's going on,
Francis?
Francis?
Yo, what's up, Francis?
Chilling, man, chilling. As good as I can be, you know?
Yeah, and during these sad times.
Oh, it's despicable. Hey, if I could just chime in on the Sevy and Glaber thing really quick.
Please go ahead.
Yeah.
We about to get into roster construction, so please start us off.
Oh, sounds good. Listen, I've been thinking since this afternoon, honestly, and I think Glaber might be a key in terms of roster reconstruction. Glaber is probably the most. I mean, I know he has had a down year, and last year wasn't that great either. But when he shows his flashes, he shows that the offense can still be there. And if he's doing it in pinstripes, there are a lot of franchises out there that will say, hey, if we bring this guy over here, he's probably going to rake. So
Yeah.
I think in terms of roster reconstruction, he may be our most attractive piece, not named, I guess, like your Aaron Judges or things like that, right? So that being said, I think we really have to take a long, hard look at what a deal for Glaber Torres looks like and when to execute that deal, which brings me to my next point, which is Pete has mentioned this several times already. And I don't know if you guys have already said it on this chat, but if you are going to make a deal of that magnitude, because that would be a big deal at this point and there would be a lot riding on it, is Brian Cashman the guy that we want making that deal? Because to deal Glaber Torres, there's going to be a lot riding on that, right? Because I think if we deal Glaber, then we got to figure out a way to maybe keep Judge. I'm not saying we keep Judge long term, but like if we're really going to go all in on reconstructing this roster, then we got to figure out a way to keep Judge. And so do we want Cashman to be the guy determining what the return is for Glaber Torres?
No.
Hell no.
Okay.
No.
All right. So we're on the same page with that.
And here's the thing. So good. Thank you, Francis. Definitely appreciate that start, because that's a great place to start. I thought about this a lot. And one of the things I like to do is I throw these questions out to a few of the beat reporters that you guys know, Brian Hoke being one of them, a few other guys. And then just some people, you meet throughout the years that you feel know their baseball pretty well. And I asked that question about Glaber, and I just say, what would you trade him for? And the crazy thing you get back is, well, who's out there? And I responded back to that. Well, there's a lot of pitchers out there and whatnot. And one of the things I think I wrote this in our chat. I said there was a friend of mine sent me a deal back, and it was from the Braves. And he said, would you do a deal that doesn't necessarily get you your major league pitcher this instant, but maybe it gets you a guy like a Drew Waters, who's one of the top outfield prospects in baseball, Contreras, who's another young catching prospect, maybe a starting pitching prospect also. So my question on that is, you're probably not going to get a Corbin Burns. You're probably not going to get a Brandon Woodruff, because honestly, that's probably the most talented team in baseball, pitching wise.
Yeah.
I don't know what would be the reason the Brewers would say, we got 4+ years with these guys. And I'm not even counting Freddie Peralta, who's friggin' awesome. And they also got Ethan Small, who's coming up. They got a ton of young prospects coming up still. What would be their reason to trade him? And then on top of that, let's say, for an example, they decide on saying he is available. Glaber's available. What do you get for him? That's my thing. What starting pitcher out there could you get for him now that is going to help you right now? I'm not saying there's nobody available. I'm talking about the legitimate guys, the elite guys that you want to trade somebody like Glaber for. Who's out there?
Well,
that's the best question, because I asked everybody. These guys know baseball. So I asked them, I run it by them, and they told me the same thing. I think at that point, you trade them for prospects.
Honestly, buy low. The only thing I can think of is like a buy low. I'm sorry if I cut you off, Harvey. That's the only thing I'm thinking of. Go ahead, bro.
No, I was gonna say, people might tell me you crazy, but how about this pitcher? We talked about it during this spring training. Luis Castillo.
Oh man, that's tough.
He's struggling.
That's tough right now. But here's what I would do on that. I wouldn't go Glaber on something like that.
Oh no, not straight up. No.
Oh no, not even that. If I'm looking at a Luis Castillo, I'm looking to give up something that isn't as fruitful as a Glaber is, because I think you could still get more, maybe prospect wise. I'm looking at maybe a different type of deal that looks nice to both teams.
Oh, okay.
On something like him, maybe not a piece like Glaber, but I could see where you're going at that. Is it some sort of deal like that? Because Joe Austin, I don't know the player out there that's available for that type of deal.
I mean, the first name that came to my mind, it's not someone that would be a flashy name. He's a good pitcher when he's healthy, but that's the key word. First one that came to my mind was Sean Manaea in Oakland.
Yeah,
And I love him, but I don't know if I love him enough to give up on Glaber's potential for him.
I mean, why would the O's give him up? The O's are trying to go for it. That's one of their big guys right there.
Because we know how the A's operate. He's probably a free agent within a year or two.
Oh, I mean,
He's
if we're
not gonna be
talking
there
after,
long.
I was thinking
the A's will let him walk.
And the A's I think the A's have the worst OPS from shortstops in baseball right now. I mean, maybe it would be something they'd consider this year.
Well, supposedly the A's has their eyes on Trevor Story.
Yeah, but that's a 1 year. That's a
that's a
2 month
one-off.
fix.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But
They'd be buying the what you call that
They'd be getting Glaber for 3 years.
yeah. If they got Story, what do they call that when they get the guy at the All-Star break and they just let him walk?
A rental.
The rental, exactly. They'd be buying the Trevor Story rental. They wouldn't be re-signing him to any long-term deal because Story's gonna make some money. We all know that.
I had people come up, ask me, would you do Glaber straight up for Story?
No, the
Why?
Yankees would
We
lose that deal.
could just sign him.
No, yeah, that's what I'm. Yeah.
Well,
that's honestly the truth. Would they trade for Story if he's gonna be a free agent and they know that all it would take is money to get him in the winter when we've been playing the way we're playing this year?
The thing is, we don't even know that's the guarantee. If
Well, I guess
Story either. With his
I guess the thing that teams that trade for him, maybe not Oakland, but a team that could trade for him, they do get that little negotiating window also.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's an advantage right there. Yeah,
that they could try to jump ahead of it.
Yeah, but the Yankees never do that.
The Yankees don't.
No,
do that.
Austin is 1,000% right, and that's another reason why we have to change management. But I'm sure that's a conversation we're getting into later.
Oh yeah, we're definitely gonna talk about that. That's definitely on the back burner for probably a good 3-hour conversation at that point. At this point.
In fact, I can think of 2 extensions in my life. Sorry, Arby.
No, you got to go ahead, Austin. Go ahead.
I was just saying I can think of 2 extensions the Yankees have done in my life. It was Gardner and Sevy, and Hicks.
Yeah.
Yeah, remember they were an asshole to Posada.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They treated Jeter and Rivera horribly too in their last free agent. Or
Posada,
maybe not their last, but their last big one.
Look at Matsui. We talked about this last time. The guy won the World Series for us to tell him to go fuck off.
Damon too, no? Or was Damon there in 2010?
That will always be crazy to me. Like why the Yankees get away with like treating players like that. Like after everything happened with Jeter, like I swore that we were going to become like a pariah of a franchise. Like the way people looking like, wow, if they could do that to Jeter, then like, what am I going to like, who am I going to be that they're going to treat me better than they're going to treat the captain? Yep. But luckily we've still been able to get, a few guys. So I guess people just really care about the money at the end of the day.
Jeter got his revenge on Cashman anyway when he gave him Stanton.
Exactly. And then
he said, yeah, take our left fielder. Wink, wink.
Right. Yeah, that's right. His legs are feeling great. Medicals check out. This guy wants to play left field for you so badly. They get half a play. They didn't know that.
Got him for pennies. And look at us now.
Give me Starlin Castro back.
Yeah. Anybody.
I was saying the other day, look, people were saying that we should look at trades like to bring Didi and stuff back. Listen, I'm a Didi guy. But do you know how cockamamie that sounds? Like we literally let the man walk and then could have negotiated for him this winter if we wanted to bring him. And still Didi was like essentially like told to go kick rocks by the Yankees organization twice already. Like, what would be the point of bringing him back? Like, you think Cashman's going to admit defeat?
Nah, Cash Guard ain't going to do that. It's Cash Guard. Cash Guard don't do that. You don't admit mistakes.
That we don't need a lefty contact shortstop with a decent glove for what?
Who do we? Why do we need a shortstop that can make a play?
Yeah, we need the errors.
I will say one thing about Glaber. His defense has been a lot better since the first month of the year.
Ever since
Yeah,
the talk
he's
with
picked it
Boone.
up a little bit.
He
Ever since
has.
the talk with Boone, he gotten better.
Or was it something else?
That's true. Yeah.
Boone. I don't even want to hear the name Boone. We'll get to that later. I'm talking about the reconstruction of this club right now. But no, Francis, you bring up a good point, and I guess the fun thing is, some of you guys in the comments now, if you want to throw out who you would, if and it's a big if Glaber was out there and available, what pitcher would you like to see the Yankees possibly dangle for him? And again, look, if the Brewers ever said Burns, Peralta, or Woodruff is ever available, I mean, you can take half of the roster if you like.
What about the Twins?
I'll drive
Jose,
Glaber to Milwaukee.
what about on the Twins? Jose Barrio. What is? I can't say his last name.
Barrios.
Yeah,
Barrios.
isn't he still under contract?
I think he's
Yeah, for a few years.
I think he has like one more year left after this one.
Oh shit.
But he's also
heard-
had a lot of down. He's also had a lot
Yeah, he has.
of a downward spiral recently too.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'd go Castillo before Barrios, honestly.
Yeah.
Me too.
What about our good friend Herman Marquez?
Isn't he having a bit of a down year?
A little bit.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
it's
mean,
Colorado.
A
though,
little
so-
bit. Here's my thing. If this helps any of us here, because I think what I'm hearing from a lot of you guys is also have in my mind too. And I think the thing that happens when it comes to pitching in the Yankees is very simple. The reason that we're afraid to take flyers on a lot of these guys is we don't trust like our coaching in terms of pitching. So we look at Castillo having a down year and we don't believe that we can bring him here and resurrect him. We see Herman Marquez struggling a little bit and we're like, well, if we traded for him, like what makes us believe that we're going to help him regain form? So it's like that, at least for me, I don't know. I kind of hear that in your tones, but I could be wrong. But like, that's what I feel like. That's what bothers me. It's like,
I think the problem for Yankee fans in general is those type of players just haven't worked out. And there's a fear of that happening, of we go out there and get one of these guys again. And it's the same crap over and over again. We're never able to get somebody like that. I think the last guy that I remember that did decent, like in the first half of the season, that was kind of shocking. If you guys remember back in the day, they got John Lieber, and Lieber was like one of the best pitchers in baseball the first half of the season. And he just went completely downhill. Yeah. But they haven't had a lot of success with. Kluber could have been on that path of a guy who, I mean, look at Jameson Taillon. I still think the guy has good stuff. I think he has a lot of mechanic to still work on. I think I watched him pitch the other day, and you almost see his arm like trying to guide the ball. It's like he's not even throwing. It's like it's so much in his mind that he's like trying just to guide the ball with his arm only. It looked very, very weird. And I think I was watching on the Phillies channel, and they've seen him a lot over the past. And they were saying too that his delivery is different. Obviously, that we know he changed up a little bit, but they said he looks a lot more uncomfortable on the mound than he did before. And, a lot of that could still have to do with him getting used to where he's at. But I don't know if taking somebody like that and trying to have this club who has no real success record of that, if you're the Astros, is different.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think Astro fans would be like, yeah, give us any of those guys. We'll take them.
Exactly.
We'll see what they can do.
Yep.
I will also say, though, in defense of Taillon, which a lot of people overlook, putting as much stake into him doing good as they did this year was the dumbest thing that they could have ever done.
I told that to my father today. I said, you get guys like that when you already have a solidified rotation.
Yeah. Tommy John, I mean, look at Monty up until the very end of the year last year, how he was off of Tommy John. He wasn't Monty.
Yep.
It just doesn't happen.
Yep. Very much.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, that's part of it. So Glaber, Francis is spot on. I think Glaber would be an option to really add a lot more to this club, even if it's prospect pool wise. A guy like Drew Waters is ready to play the outfield. So he's right there on the brink of doing now. Now, would the Braves do that? I don't know. I don't know if they would. But
there's no fit there for them.
If he could play shortstop, there is.
Dansby Swanson.
Dansby Swanson sucks.
Yeah, offensively, he's having a really down year. But I think what they trade his prowess in terms of glove, like being a National League team, like would they trade him for like the offense? I don't know.
And they already got that too. You know, they
Yeah,
already
it's-
got a lot of the young guy offense there they could build around. So
Yeah.
maybe not a fit.
Maybe so here's the thing too. Like, what if trading Glaber for the pitcher wasn't even the move? Like, what if we're supposed to try to trade Glaber for like a contact hitter and then like another contact hitting prospect?
It depends who.
That's the tough. And if you look around baseball, the thing you got to really remember, and this is something I always love looking at raw. And I think I've always talked about this in my chats. I always said they got big decisions to make in years to come because it's obvious, you know, windows close and you add new guys, new talent comes in. And if you look around baseball, even with stuff like that, you know, the only real logical name that could help the Yankees now by trading Glaber, if you want to win in the next couple of years, if that is the move, is a guy like a Marte.
Who?
Is it Ketel Marte? Ketel Marte. I
And
mean, that is one of the only big names that has a very good contract. So forget about control. He has a very manageable contract for years to come. Even his player options, I think, are like 6 and then 10 million. It's something stupid. And so he's like 4 or 5 years available after this. So you got this guy for good. So, like Francis is saying, is that the type of thing you make? Because if you look at young shortstops, there are none that are going to be traded.
No.
There's none of them, unless you think like Mondesi from Kansas City is something special.
Mhm.
There's nobody out there. And the top prospect guys that are available, the Yankees aren't getting them. There'll be no reason to trade them.
Yeah.
So if you look at the holes on the Yankees, it's tough to see where that even big offensive player would be.
I mean,
Would you
even if
do it,
you go
though?
Marte, you have to throw prospects
Yeah.
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 and decent prospects.
Would
But
you
do you
that
think
deal?
do you think Glaber could, you know, obviously he would fit in a deal like that? That would make sense for both clubs.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I think you're sending Clark Schmidt back in that deal,
Possibly.
but yeah,
Joe, what do you think of something like that?
I think that's the best thing to do because I really don't see a pitcher out there that we can acquire with Glaber. I think Ketel Marte can easily boost his team more than what Glaber can do. And again, you do have him for the long run. And his contract is stupid crazy. It's literally nothing. He's making less than Hicks.
Right. He's making, I mean, his contract's an absolute joke. An absolute joke.
And then you're talking about an outfield that Ketel Marte, Florial, and Judge possibly next year. That's to me probably the top 3 outfield in the league.
Potentially, yeah. And then Francis, what do you think of something like that?
Of Ketel Marte?
If you're looking for a player like a Torres, like you said,
okay.
Is that a possibility?
I was gonna say so when I even brought it up, I was trying to like lead us to Ketel Marte.
There it is. There it is. He's such a perfect fit for the Yankees that you know for a fact at some point is going to be a conversation. It's just if the Yankees can get something like that done, and is Cashman willing to go where it may have to take him to do a deal like that? Because look, Garcia's falling off. I predicted this. RB, if you remember, I was told for years he's a relief pitcher.
reliever.
Yeah.
Every time somebody told me about him, I said between Clark Schmidt and him, who's the better starting pitcher? Every single person I talked to told me Smith is no doubt about it. If he stays healthy, a starting pitcher. Davey is not. Maybe I'm wrong still. I'm not jumping on that now. I'm not jumping on the guy because he's struggling. I hope he could come up and be a starter because the Yankees need it. But I don't know if he's that guy, and that's the question you got to ask the Yankees now. Where are their starters coming from? Where's everything coming from on his roster? It's going to take some great chess playing.
At this point, is going to take some moves, like savage chess, like really high level moves, because
it's going to take
even
balls.
free agency. Yeah, and that too, obviously. I mean, and again, which is why I want to change management, but we'll get there when we get there. But my whole thing is like, I look at the pitching and I'm like, what are we going to do? Like, even in terms of free agency, who's out there? Scherzer, that's it. Like, and are they going to sign Scherzer?
Kershaw.
They won't sign Kershaw. Do you think they sign Kershaw? Because maybe
No.
I'm
No.
being pessimistic.
No, I got
No,
the
I
Rangers.
don't see it.
Nope.
I don't see that either.
You gotta have somebody with balls. That's all. That's what we were saying. Like Kershaw is
Big
available.
balls. Big balls is what it's
You
gonna
had no. You had
take.
no.
You have no mamas.
Bravos.
Like it's gonna take a lot of creativity. If Hal said, "Listen, we have a shot, but we need to change a lot in this roster. Let's go ahead and do it at the trade deadline." Because everybody's saying now, "Oh, we don't have the prospect, we don't have the depth, like to change the roster."
No,
And I
we don't
get
have the
that,
balls to do it. That's what it is.
But here's the question:
We have the Kikuchi to do it. We don't got the balls.
would you guys trade any of the bullpen?
Yeah, they're all going to be gone anyway soon. Isn't
Would you
Chad Green
guys
coming up?
trade Chapman?
Chapman, I wouldn't trade, and the only reason that I say that right now is that who do we like? I know we have Britton, but I think Britton really excels in the role that he's already in.
Because I was gonna say, doesn't Chapman hold like a 15 million, 16 million salary? 15 to
I
16?
think I
like
think
that.
I think a guy like Britton will go before Chapman.
What about Green?
If there's a market
No.
for Green, I don't want to lose Green.
Yeah,
But
me
if I
neither.
had to choose, he's more replaceable, I think, than Chapman. Like I know Chapman has had a couple bad goes of it, but before those last two outings, Chapman was literally untouchable this entire year.
He was perfect.
My
Before
my
the whole
father after he blew the game goes, man, this guy sucks. I said, Pops. I said the guy had great, yeah, but look at the last two games. I'm like, 2K, what do you want? What do you want the guy? I mean, what do you expect him to do? Let him. He's gonna have a bad game every now and then. But no, I mean, if they do tailspin, let's say this team is under 500 because they're close. They're close. They're there. All they need is a couple of bad series and they're under. Nobody here wants this to happen, but we're looking at the future of roster construction. If that's the case, I mean, if I'm Cashman, you better believe this might look like a very, very different team after the deadline. It might just be that. It might say, all right, well, you know, if teams are out there ready to win, we got the players. Throw some
That's what
offers.
I have another. I think you guys heard of it on Jim Bowden. That he publicly said that he received a message from Brian Cashman saying that we suck now, but not for long. And everybody's asking me.
Oh my
He was talking about Severino before his balls broke.
Yeah.
People quickly asking me, "Oh, what do you think of that?" I'm like, it could be one or two scenarios. One, like you guys said, oh, Sevy's coming back, Voigt's coming back, Kluber's coming back. Once we all fully healthy, then we're gonna start raking. Or like we talking right now, trades. Some trades can happen, or I don't know, or just Cashman just being Cashman, just messing us up.
Cashman being Cashman.
Yeah.
No one's making a trade on the 13th of June.
No, I'm talking about for that
especially
trade
not.
now.
Oh, I was gonna say it's gonna be tough too, like for Cashman at this point because he's waited so long. Like, how do you think teams are negotiating? Like everybody he goes into a room to negotiate with is operating from a position of strength. Like literally everybody. Like he can't. It's not like he's gonna walk in the room with the Diamondbacks and just Yankee them around. They're gonna be like, nah, man, you need Ketel Marte. Talk to me nice, Brian.
Oh yeah, I'm telling you, France.
Yeah.
I said that last time. I would love to negotiate with Cashman right now. I would love it more than any. I would say flat out, who the hell are you guys?
Yeah.
Flat out, who are you? Who are the Yankees? What was the last time? 09? You're not the big boys in the room. You're not gonna beat the Dodgers out for signing the player if they want one. Who are you guys? What have you guys done?
That's what, and that whole thing about when it comes to money, it's like, the Yankees would just spend money and stuff like that. Like that narrative needs to get thrown out of the window too, buddy. Like it's over. Everybody's spending money these days. Nobody cares. Look at what the Padres did. Like you want to talk about spending money? They spent. Okay, they mortgaged. They took out a mortgage on their franchise.
Can we also talk about how quickly that was done?
Yeah, back to back to back.
Preller God.
After those moves, he got an extension. Good job, Preller. Good job.
Well deserved, because that's how you do it. Like you see the way he attacked the market. Like that's an actual attack of the market. Like he
Yep.
literally
Damn right.
attacked the market.
Damn right.
He took advantage. Yeah, he said Cashman ain't gonna beat me out with these trades. I'm going after everybody. And Cashman just sitting.
And
Yeah.
I remember I want to do this publicly, so I'll take advantage since we're on the live. Like, I remember when Manny signed there, I was like, damn, Machado going with the Padres, man. Like, I don't know. Like, what are they gonna do? Like, how are they gonna, like, I know Tatis and everything, but I'm like, what are they gonna do? What moves are they gonna do? And
Yep.
man, Preller shut me right up. He's like, watch
Me
this.
too. Me too.
Watch me.
I remember when he signed and I said, all right, Manny, go have fun being last
Yeah.
place and being garbage. I
Mhm.
said in a few years they could be decent, but I don't know if it's going to be
Same.
anytime soon.
Yeah.
I
And
thought he was going to be traded in a couple years. I literally fixed my lips to say, this guy will be demanding the trade in a couple seasons. Watch. Well, I was wrong.
Yeah, I mean, I almost feel bad for Cole that he didn't go there. I almost feel bad for Cole.
That is.
So if Cole
This
opts
sucks.
out, he's
Oh, he's
Preller will be
opting
the
out.
First one on his line, like, hey, Garrett,
Oh, he's
think
opting
about
out.
San Diego.
Oh my lord.
He's 100% opting out.
Wait, when does Cole have an opt out?
I think 3 more years. I think he
Yeah.
got 3. Like
Oh,
when
okay.
he's,
It was
it'd be like
5. Okay.
he'd be like 33, I think, or 34.
If Cole opts out, I want Hal Cashman to sell the team. Even though it's not gonna happen, because this is blasphemy. Like Cole's opting out. We are screwed.
So let's do this real quickly. Then we're talking about roster construction. Let's do this, and then we'll talk about a player that could possibly start fixing this club. And I think a lot of us may know Ketel Marte, but there's some other names out there I think that could be mentioned. What position is most valuable to a Yankee roster construction?
Catcher.
Joe says catcher.
Mm.
I'm gonna say outfield, and not the reason I'm not saying left or center or whatever is just because like we need another legit outfielder. Catcher, the reason I like catcher, but I feel like if we got a defensive catcher who was like light hitting, it wouldn't kill me. Like get me a guy who knows how to call a game and is gonna get the most out of our arms.
Yeah.
And I'm honestly fine with that. But the outfielding situation it's bad. Like the New York Yankees not having like a real outfield is like it's almost laughable with the money that we spend on the roster.
Besides from Judge,
What do you think, Arby?
Outfield or shortstop?
Okay.
Outfield is. You know what? Yeah, I'll go with outfield because right now we atrocious right now, which is insane. Like we need a legitimate outfielder along with Judge.
Austin, what do you think?
I think it's center field. Your best teams are built up the middle. Yankees are not built well up the middle right now.
I was exactly going to say that. I was going to say, possibly second or short even. The middle of your infield is extremely important. That duo is important. Jeter and Soriano. I mean, you could name a lot of the great Yankees up the middle. Jeter and Cano most recently winning the World Series title.
And they had Posada behind the plate and Bernie in center.
There you go. I mean, you don't get. I mean, where do you get much better than that? I mean, you'll be hard pressed to find a club that has better than that. And right now, what do you have? Right now you have who the hell's in center field? Who is the shortstop? Even a shortstop. The second baseman struggling, and the catcher is on and off, and maybe getting hot. Hopefully he does. Francis and Joe, I think you guys missed that, but we gave a lot of props to Gary Sanchez. Hopefully getting hot and continuing it on and keeping himself maybe where he is. But that's something we chatted about before you guys got on. But I agree with you guys. Up the middle is key. And I don't think the Yankees have that solidified. I think that's a great place to start.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like if Ketel Marte is available, you got to go
Adam Frazier.
Same.
Adam Frazier.
Yep. Adam Frazier.
But if those two are available, who would you guys? Well, Ketel Marte, right? Ketel.
Out of both of them, I mean, depending, you would have to. One thing is that the Pirates are trading Frazier. Frazier's going to be traded.
Yeah,
I mean, and look, I'm like I enjoyed. I know, like I said before, I know quite a bit about this Pirates team, and a lot of people give them crap. They do need new owners. I know that they definitely got to sell their team, But this team, and like that's when people talk about trading Reynolds. Oh, they're not going to be good for years to come. I don't know about that. The Pirates are on the verge if they are smart enough and they draft lighter, which if they don't draft lighter, they're out their friggin' mind. I was hearing them talking about getting a shortstop. They got one of the best young shortstops in baseball in Cruz, who's a top prospect, lefty, tall, could just smack the ball everywhere. Awesome prospect. They got Nick Gonzalez, who's a second baseman who could eventually take over for Frazier now. They got Reynolds in the outfield. Brian Hayes is arguably the most exciting unknown in baseball that nobody talks about. Unfortunately, the guy is awesome. And, you know, they have Quinn Priester, who's a starting pitching prospect. They got a few other pitching prospects who are good. So they're set. So trading a guy like Frazier now makes the most sense. Reynolds wouldn't make sense for them really if they want to win. But they could get a lot back for him. I think he's more tradable than Marte is. Even though the Arizona Diamondbacks suck, they got to be convinced that they're never going to win in the next 4 or 5 years, or they have no shot to make that trade now. It's kind of the same conversation when it comes to Burns and the pitchers on the Brewers. What's the point of them trading them when they got a great staff?
Yeah, that's true.
And I didn't know that Hader's having such a damn good year again. His ERA's under 1. So he's probably not. That team's lineup is just, their pitching is amazing. Their offense just sucks.
Yeah.
But their pitching is unbelievably good. Like they're like reminiscent right now of the old Braves. That's how good these guys are. And they got more on the way. So I think Frazier's the guy that would be an easier deal for the Yankees. But who just lost their second baseman? Somebody just lost their second baseman. Oh, the White Sox.
Oh yeah,
Nick Madrigal.
The White Sox would be all over Frazier. They got way better prospect than the Yankees.
And that's scary, man. If like an American League team contender trades for Adam Frazier, like the White Sox, you know, what's the whole point? We got to go for Frazier or Cattell hard if they become available. Well, we already know Adam most likely, but if Cattell, we got to try because, like we said, the middle and the infield is important. You can have Cattell center, DJ second, Gary Sanchez catcher. You know, it's not too bad.
Tough decisions. It's going to take balls. Like Francis said it, you know, Joe said it. We all said it here. I mean, it's going to take some guts to make the moves that are going to have to be made here. I don't think I'd want to be the GM. I'll be honest. I don't think I want to be the one making these calls. But again, you know, you pay somebody enough, they'll do it. But you got to get somebody in that maybe is a little wild, you know, that maybe thinks outside the box a little bit in the sense of not putting Aaron Judge at first base. We're not talking about that. But in the sense of, I don't care what the press thinks of me, or I don't care what the fan base may think of this move. This is what I believe I got hired to do, and this is the right move to make. So it's going to be tough, but one of the things the Yankees have to look at too, and my dad brought this up today when I was talking to him, is how good the division's getting. And how a lot of these teams are pushing by them. The Blue Jays are filthy on offense. What did I say in the first roundtable? The Blue Jays, the moment they signed Simeon, all these players, I told you guys, the Blue Jays are not afraid of the Yankees anymore. They think, well, everybody in the division thinks, hey, we have a shot at winning this division. This is not the Yankees now. I mean, the Yankees don't own this division anymore. Boston, miraculously, is playing good baseball. Blue Jays is on fire. Why is Boston playing good? I'm going to tell you now. They have a manager who manages.
They have a real manager.
Bingo.
What was happening before Cora came? They sucked. Once Cora came, forget it. They turned things around.
They didn't make no big moves.
No.
In fact, they traded their best player since the last time Cora was there.
Their big move was their manager returning. And that goes to show people who say, oh, it's not on the manager. He doesn't play because I've seen a lot of that BS. Oh, Boone doesn't play the game yet. Okay, well, Cora doesn't play the games either. And this Red Sox team is night and day.
Yeah. So now we have 4 teams now.
How many times have the Red Sox been thrown out on the bases this year? Anybody know? I would love to find that one out. We talk about coaching, and we're gonna get to that. Let me not jump into that. But Arby, go ahead. Continue on what you're saying about the Rays, who lost to a terrific team.
The Rays with $50 million payroll. It's just outsmarting us, making us like dumbasses. You know, like, so we got the Rays, Blue Jays, Red Sox now saying to themselves, this division is wide open with among us three and possibly the Yankees. What is Cashman and Hal doing? Like, what are they saying to themselves? Or they just sit back, let them three compete, and us, what are we doing? Like I told you guys, the moment these teams started getting better, they're saying to themselves, this is not the Yankees division anymore. Like, we have a legit shot at winning this division. Let's go all four. Let's put all of our chips in the middle of the table, and let's just give it a shot. And so far, it's working for the Blue Jays. It's working for the Red Sox and the Rays. And we just dropping and dropping. God forbid the Orioles catches on fire and passes us.
No, I don't think that's gonna happen.
Yeah,
not right now. Well, no, the Orioles. I mean, at the end of the day, the Orioles they got some legit guys coming up too. Yeah. They have one of the best catching prospects in baseball, Rushman, who's close to getting there. They're getting their offense underway here. They got I think Rodriguez is their pitching prospect, one of the top prospects in the game. He's there. They got a DJ Hall, I think his name is, was another lefty prospect. They got some guys there. And if you look at the teams with the prospects, I give credit to the Blue Jays because there's a name that they have on their roster right now that people told me a year ago wouldn't even made the Yankees roster. And that's Robbie Ray, who's dominating. He's dominating for the Blue Jays.
3-2 with a 3.36 ERA.
I was told the year. That's the year.
Didn't he dominate us?
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
That's the year. I think that was the year when the Yankees got Alfredo Garcia. Was that Alfredo Garcia that year? When I reported that they were close to a deal for Archie Bradley and him. I think Peter Gams reported it also, that they were close to a deal and the Yankees pulled out on it of getting Bradley and Robbie Ray.
2 years
it might
ago,
have been it might have been 2 years ago. I think it was about 2 years ago. And that's the year they got nobody. And I remember saying, when they lost the playoffs, I said, man, what would have been nice coming out of the bullpen? A lefty who strikes guys out. That would have been nice. And Ray would have fit that mold.
Yeah.
And he always had the talent to take off as a starting pitcher, was obvious. And they gave up peanuts for him. Nothing.
But Pete, we got Peralta.
Oh yeah, I know. Juan, have you seen Wandy? I wish he said that. I wish he said that to me. That's like a rare spot that you get to tell the GM you're a moron to his face. Wandy Peralta. You're bragging about Wandy?
He said, have you seen Wandy? Have you seen Wandy?
Exactly. My man, have you seen him?
People are obsessed with Wandy. About what? About what? Come on.
Have you seen the manager you brought in?
It's sad that we over here making fun of the Yankees, man. It's sad.
It sucks because we, at the end of the day, being frustrated, fans all feel the same thing. So you want to let your frustration out together.
Oh, yeah.
People like that.
Oh,
but I would much rather be talking about what the Yankees can do at the deadline to improve on the club they have currently. And they can still do things. So we'll see, deadline's still a bit away. We'll see what happens. But so with that being said, and we talked about the middle infield being the area there. Who's a name? What name is it? And I know Ketel Marte is probably going to be the guy that goes around the board for almost everybody. I think Ketel Marte really or Adam Frazier make a lot of sense because they could be here for years to come. They do everything the Yankees really don't do. Adam Frazier leads the world in doubles. He's, I think, hitting still over 320.
333, I believe.
Ketel Marte still smacks the cover of the ball from both sides of the plate, by the way. And he could hit from both sides of the plate. He's not just your Aaron Hicks who can hit from one side decently. And that's
what side can Aaron Hicks hit from?
What is it? Francis, you're always on this. Which one is it?
Neither.
No, it's neither. Oh, that was like a trick question.
I think the right side.
That's what I was saying.
Right.
That's like an Aaron Hicks trick question.
In reality, he's a right-handed hitter.
I was just gonna say, I think he maybe hits 230 from the right side.
Yeah.
So, and again, it's funny because I got some people in the comments, and you guys are right in the comments. They got some guys they can call up, and they do. Trey Ambergy is one guy who's just smacking the cover off of the ball, and Eric Kratz is out there like his manager right now. Eric Kratz sounds like his agent.
Can we call up Eric Kratz to be the manager?
I added him. I was hoping for like some sly response, but I didn't get anything. But that would be.
I think somebody wrote to him earlier in the season, said, "Hey, Kratz, can you become the manager of the season?" He said, "Nah, I'm good." I'm glad being retired. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, the whole thing when it comes to a manager of this club, I think this is what I said last roundtable, is that boy, before I get to that, who's the player that you guys would think could jumpstart, this roster construction?
People be throwing names, Joey Gallo. I'm not too high on him. Joey Gallo. That's the thing though. Like, are we talking about outfield only or just in general?
We talked about the middle of the field there. Who would be a guy that would make the most sense to kind of rebuild this offense a bit?
Well, I think Adam Frazier.
Middle.
Is a sweet one. Yeah, I think Adam Frazier got to be number one.
The guy we didn't mention, Whit Merrifield.
You went with Frazier, Francis? Whit Merrifield could be number one.
I'm going with Frazier, but I will say that it's funny because someone just said Merrifield. Like the Merrifield is like the ideal to me. I just feel like there's no way.
Is he even available? Would he even be available this season?
He has a great contract too. He has
his contract is so good.
He can play everywhere. So yeah, that's a good point. Francis.
Didn't he only sign like a 4-year deal too? Like, and he's probably decently into that at this point. And Kansas City's not going anywhere.
I think so. Let me double check.
Go ahead, Joe.
Oh, I said I know he's making like 4 million, which is like nothing.
Yeah, it was like 4 years, 16 million or something.
He will not be a free agent until 2024. So you'll have 2 more years after this.
Are they going to be anything in 2 years? Royals? What are they looking at?
They are
possibly the second. I would say more the second.
You're pushing your luck on that, in my opinion.
Because I'm counting it as a way that maybe the organization will see it, not that what I may believe, because of the prospects they have that are on the verge of breaking through. Bobby Witt Jr. is arguably the best prospect in baseball and can hit a ton. So you're talking about guys like that. They got Brady Singer, I believe his name is another good prospect coming up.
Yep.
He's already up, I think. And they got even more than that too. So they have a chance of retooling and being good. But would I think that he's going to be part of a next championship? No.
Nah.
No. Or major contending team for the Royals? Nah, I don't think so.
Yeah,
not on this contract anyway.
No. Yeah, that's why Austin and Francis that brought up Merrifield. That's a good name. Those two. Adam Frazier will be my ideal because, like we all said, that he will be most likely he's getting traded. And
remember, Adam Frazier only got 1 year after this. He's arbitration eligible, then he's a free agent. So he's another guy that would have to come in and basically be re-signed. And the way his career is starting to go, you're looking at a $10+ million player.
Because I'm looking at
the Yankees are in a predicament. It's tough.
How Cashman just got to suck it up, grow sack. Listen, we're gonna become the Yankees that everybody knows of. Let's go. Like, they got the money. Like, that's what I just don't understand. It gets me frustrated. They're playing scaredy cat. Oh no! It's too much. No, come on. Your main goal is to win at the end of the day. The Dodgers don't care about money. The Dodgers don't care about the farm system. Get rid of everybody. Who cares? We got Mookie Betts. Look what happened. They won the World Series. Are they complaining? No.
The thing with that, I think, is like, we have the money, but if we're spending the money incorrectly, it's as good as us not having it. Because, like, I feel like that's the argument I've been having with people. I don't know if it was LI Yankee King or if it was someone else, but we were having like the argument that there was like blaming Hal, and I was like, but how much can we put on Hal in terms of like spending? Because no, it wasn't LI Yankee King, it was someone else. It was the guy that you were arguing with, Joe, that was saying that Hal doesn't spend enough money and all that, and I was just like, Hal's spending $204 million plus on this putrid product right now. Like, it's not necessarily about spending. Like, some people are saying, oh, but then he needs to just go through the threshold. But it's like, what incentive does he have to go through the threshold when 204 plus has gotten him basically a 500 team. Like he's getting smacked around by 50 something million dollars of payroll in Tampa Bay. He's getting smacked around by the 80 something or whatever it is that Toronto has, like not just beat, but like owned by these minute payrolls. So it's like, what incentive that he have to like spend, like to blow through the threshold this year and take all those penalties when there's no guarantee that that's going to get us even to the World Series at least. Like, I think if there was one or two moves out there that guaranteed World Series for us, I think maybe he could possibly explore it. But right now, it's like, nah. Like, I don't think he goes through the threshold this year. And honestly, I wouldn't either.
The only way the Yankees add any significant salary at the deadline, unfortunately, I think, is if they trade Britton. They saw that the bullpen's good enough without him.
That's right.
Showcase him for the next month and a half that he's healthy. You trade him, you get whatever the prorated part of his, I think, 13 million off the books is.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah.
That's the reason why I earlier brought up this in I'm over here thinking like outside the box. What players that are hot right now, they have a kind of a high salary, we can trade, but it won't kill us at the end. That's why I brought up Chapman. Yeah, don't get me wrong. I love Chapman. I don't want nobody bashing me. I'm not saying, oh, get rid of him. He said, no. He has a 16 million cap, I believe. Or like we trade Chapman, right? Do they feel comfortable Britton in the closer spot? Because he closed in Baltimore. So, but I know right now in the role that he's in is perfect. But do they say to themselves, okay, we trade Chapman at 16 million. We move up Britton closer, and we can get ourselves a high impact player that can probably change his roster around and become a juggernaut. I don't know. I'm just thinking outside the box. Like, but Austin just said, Britton, we have to think outside the box because I feel like we have 90 something games left and we're 8 games back. Anything can happen in baseball. I'm not saying like some people say, oh, just throw the season away. I'm still, not for that. Anything can happen. Anybody can get hurt in our division, especially with these teams above us. It's just people are saying, "Oh, Ketel Marte won't make a difference if we just get him." Okay, please. Ketel Marte can play multiple positions. Come on, like I feel
if this
like
team gets healthy, if we start getting healthy, he's gonna make a big difference.
If Boyd can come back healthy and start dominating, let's start producing the offense. That's another bat.
Listen to this. He can play first. I mean, we're talking about our problems up the middle, but if we can get healthy, we have Voit back at first, DJ at his natural position, and then Glaber, who's been holding it down at short. You never know. Call up Florial. He might give you 260 and play a really good center field.
That's exactly. But now
we trade for a center fielder.
Or that.
Exactly. It doesn't even have to be Ketel right now. It could be somebody like Gallo.
But that's best case. And so, like, of course, like if we're talking best case scenario, Voit gets healthy, he comes back, he starts doing Voit things. DJ's starts to, really wake up and stay, which it looks like he's waking up. That's for you, LA Yankee King. It looks like it looks like DJ's, out of bed. And Glaber, like Austin said, has gotten very, consistent in a sense defensively after that first month. So if you can get a center fielder and the catching stays more or less, this dance between Sanchez and Higgy, okay, we could be fine. But what we've seen the last week plus is we got big rotation issues too. So like if our lineup starts hitting, like the other night where we scored 7 runs, but the pitching isn't there, like what do we do?
That's why I said the moment Kluber got hurt, and Sevy now with the groin injury, I think it is, or ankle.
Groin,
right? Yeah. And that's how long he's out for.
We don't know that yet, but
groin is tricky.
It wouldn't shock me. It wouldn't shock me if he doesn't pitch this year. That wouldn't shock me one bit.
Me neither.
But you can't see. That's the thing too. You can't count on that though, at all. Right now you got to count on him not pitching at all.
You can't even count on him coming back and pitching well because you'd be counting on it would be just like Taillon.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Guys, can you guys count on Kluber right now when he comes back?
Of course not. No,
definitely not.
Can you guys count on Taillon?
No.
Can you guys count on? Well, Sevy's out. can you guys count on Monty or Herman right now?
Definitely. I could definitely
I
count on
think yes.
Herman. Monty is my number 4, but I mean,
Yeah,
going Cole, Herman, Monty is a 1-2-3, man. I don't even want to watch it.
So that's 3 pitchers that we're doubtful on: Sevy, Kluber, Taillon. And you guys expect the Yankees to win. Yeah, that's what I said. If Scherzer, well, right now Scherzer is hurt, and so far the Nationals said he's not available. If he becomes available, I'm going after him.
What
I know-
incentive does
I
Hal
know-
have to do that though?
Huh?
That's the thing. That's
Is
the thing.
none. If I was Hal Steinbrenner and Brian Cashman comes up to me tomorrow and says, "Hey, I can get Max Scherzer," I don't care if the prospect capital is pennies on the dollar. Why am I going over the salary or over the luxury tax?
That's what I was saying. It's like,
I mean, if I'm an owner, and I talked about this before, I wish Hal was like this. I would look him in the face and go, "What does your team show me to do that?
That's true.
What has this team that you put together?
Yeah,
What has this team that you put together shown me that we should go over this luxury tax?
that's
Like,
a great point.
You mean to tell me this guy is going to make a difference and make us a World Series contender? With
It'd be
what we've seen on this club? Nah.
If that's the case,
I'd
then,
legit.
to be honest, that's the case. Then Boom got to go.
Boone,
Like,
But
Cashman's
that's what I'm saying.
That's the
Boone
reason
got to
why-
go if the Yankees go on a 10-game winning streak. I still want him out.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
I
Like,
agree.
I think the worst thing, I think, and a lot of people might be in disagreement here, but I think the worst thing that could happen here is that they go like on a tear at some point and like, sneak in and people start thinking, oh, well, Boone's not really that bad and all this stuff. It's like, nah, man, like we can't get intoxicated again if the team kind of figures something out or whatever. Like what we're seeing now, this is not like the yips or anything like, no, this is a team that is poorly constructed and very ill prepared. And
Whew,
like,
that's a good point.
if they figure that out, if it's going to be because the players, like, I guess something clicks in the players, but it's not going to be because Boone all of a sudden became a better manager and Cashman all of a sudden is like, you see, I told you I was right. It's like, nah, man. Like, so that's my thing. It's like, and it's true. I believe what you guys are saying. Like, are they going to eventually probably like go on a tear? I think if I was a betting man, I'd put my money on it. But
Right.
because that's just how baseball is, right? Like Arby was alluding to that. Like baseball is like that. Like you can freaking play like crap and go freaking 30 and 34 and then flip it around the second half of the year and end up winning 93, 94 games. And then when people look back on that season, they're like, oh no, they won 94 games that year. They weren't terrible. It's like, nah, bro, I lived through it. They were bad. Like,
Hey, Francis,
so that's my thing.
somebody tweeted what the Yankees need to do for the remainder of the season to make the playoffs to reach, I think it's 93 wins. They need to win 60 plus games and only lose 38, I think. Less than 40 games. They need to win
38, 60 and 38.
Yeah, 60 and 38.
60 and 38.
And that's what,
60 and
99
38.
wins? What is that, 99
90
wins?
93? I forgot.
93.
93.
If they go 60 and 38, they'd finish
And I
with
tell you
93
what,
wins.
they
You know
better
what
hope to God that gets them in.
Because that's the thing. It's like, that's the thing. Is like, does 93 wins guarantee it with the way Boston, Toronto, and Tampa are playing?
I mean, look at last year. We were only 1 game ahead of Toronto.
And
Yes.
and what's the Yankees' record against the East? 8 and what is it? 8 and,
Horrendous.
horrible. 12 and like it's horrible.
21,
And
24.
to me, that's the thing. It's like, that's what I'm saying. Like Yankee fans, we have to be smart. Like I'm speaking to you guys in the chat right now. We have to be smart. Like this team can go and get fat against teams like the Twins and maybe figure it out and beat Detroit the next time we play them instead of getting swept by them. But like, that's not going to prove anything to me. We can go and beat Cleveland. But again, what I'm saying is this team can get fat around the league all they want. If we are not winning series against Toronto, Tampa, and Boston, we have a major, major issue. And to me, the manager's job is not so much to win series in freaking Minnesota as it is to win series when Boston comes to town for the first time this year, when Tampa Bay comes to town, when Toronto comes to town. Like we're getting pushed around by teams in our division and it's bad. Like Boston was our rival and has always been our rival. But to me, the fact that every time we play the Rays, I have to listen to John Flaherty pontificate about how the Rays and the Yankees is a rival, it's freaking disgusting. Why are the Rays our rival? How did we
Right.
let that happen?
Because they
How
own
did
us.
we allow that to happen?
They own us.
How-
Like Austin
They
said,
do.
They own
That's what I'm
us.
saying. They do, and we allowed that to happen. So it's
They've
like
ran their organization. They've run circles around us. Even the
Honestly,
manager
so
they
do the
hired.
Jays.
You exactly. You could talk
Yeah.
trash all you want about Kevin Cash, about the comments he made about his bullpen and all that, and all blah blah. Kevin Cash can manage.
Oh,
Kevin
don't get me
Cash gets the
started
best
on
out of his
him.
players. He gets the best out of his guys. Aaron
the
Boone,
same with
I
Cora.
watch Aaron Boone. I tell you what, I wouldn't let Aaron Boone run a target.
Little League.
He wouldn't run a TJ Maxx store for me. He
Damn.
wouldn't run a fan. He wouldn't run the bodega down the street. He's not doing it.
you
don't
kid-
want-
if he ran
I
the
don't-
bodega, the kids would be running in every 5 minutes stealing chips and candy and shit.
Stealing. He'll give it away.
He'll give it
He'll
away.
give it away. He'll give it away.
Say they bullied him.
They'll make no money.
And say they bullied him. Who said that? That was funny.
That man would give
Yeah.
everything away.
But
See,
this is
that's
my
the
thing. Like,
issue.
how are we allowing? Like, that's where I fault Hal. Like, okay, you spend the money, it's true, but how are you allowing for your $204 million baby to be managed by this joke?
And he don't
When
say
Kevin
nothing.
Cash
I
is
wanted
out
to talk
there,
about that.
like Kevin Cash is out there managing circles around the guy. Alex
Mhm.
Cora is literally since Cora has taken over of the Red Sox, he has made the Yankees a laughing stock.
Yeah.
Do you know
We're the
what
last
Cora?
one
Do you
to
know what
leave.
Cora's record? You know what Cora's record against the Yankees is?
I don't
He
wanna
destroys
know.
him.
Yeah, don't. I'm not. Don't.
I don't
It's
wanna know.
bad, and that's why every time they show his smug little face in the dugout, I have to shut up, and I don't like that. I don't like being forced to shut up. But when the man has the numbers to back up his smugness,
Yep.
I gotta shut up.
But Francis, this is the issue. The players from Boston, they play for Cora. The players from
Yeah.
Toronto, they play for their coach. Tampa Bay, they
Montoya,
play
right?
for Kevin Cash.
They,
I'm
they
pretty
don't
sure.
they don't want to pay for this guy. Nobody. I'm
pretty-
telling you, there
There you-
there is trouble in that clubhouse that we are unaware of. There
Big
is
time. But we're
people-
the only ones
people-
talking about it.
we're the only ones talking about it because
Why
nobody
are we
else
the
wants.
only ones talking about it?
Because I'm gonna keep it real. I'm gonna keep it real for a second. Everybody else wants to kiss ass and look good because they don't want to get bashed by anybody else.
Yeah.
That's
And
the
that's
problem.
the only way to pick. You know, you guys know I got some beef with the whole John Boy crew. Everybody probably knows that. I'm gonna give John Boy credit. He's been attacking them.
Good.
And I give him credit for that because we've had a lot of our back and forths, and it is what it is. I got no ill will towards these guys, but John Boy himself came out and literally said the team is pathetic and Boone is pathetic. And when I saw that, I was like, all right, I know you guys are doing well, and you probably want to look good for an organization. You don't want to say too much, but even like my pops told me the other day, he said he was listening to Michael K. Michael K. said something. Aaron Boone's a good guy.
Oh
Who
my
gives a
god!
shit?
Even
Who
Don
cares?
LaGreca.
Who
Yeah,
cares
but
that he's a good
that's
guy?
that's what I said. Remember the last live chat? I was like, yeah, Aaron Boone's a good guy, but he can get fired. Good guys get fired every day, bro.
Tony La Russa,
Yeah.
like I said too, Tony La Russa apparently isn't that good of a guy. He's leading
Yeah,
his
but
team, isn't he?
But his team's doing a lot better than ours. And
And
that's
who
the thing.
cares?
It doesn't take good guys. You know what? AJ Hinch was a bastard, but guess what? He's got a ring. He cheated to it, but he's got a ring. And
Right.
he's in Detroit, and he found a way to sweep us. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying I want AJ Hinch. I like, even though I know he's probably a decent manager, I wouldn't want him. But I'm just saying, like, it's a shame that, like, I can cherry pick probably 10, 12 managers who I'd rather have that are currently managing and we're around. And it's like, how are we the New York Yankees and we don't have like a manager that the players want to play for?
How
And
did
that's
this
what you
happen?
thought you were getting?
Has anybody ever sat back and said to themselves, honestly, what happened?
Brian Cashman.
Yeah,
I'm
but
telling you-
but here's the thing. What even happened to Cashman though?
I think it's the Jerry Reinsdorf effect.
I think he got the
If you
reins.
got-
I said that
think he
too.
got
When he
I
got the
think he
reins
got
of the
the-
team and they named him
Mhm.
president and all this
Yep.
stuff, he
that was
went
it.
he
that
went
was it.
full out, and this team has not been the same.
But
That was it.
we can't disrespect Reinsdorf like that because Brian Cashman architect one team.
Yeah,
Gene
Right.
Michael was the other four.
Right. That's true.
exactly.
That's
No,
true.
and you're right. I am disrespecting Reinsdorf by saying that. So but what I mean to say though is that, like,
No, I got you.
he's getting he knows that the fans who know that, dude, you architected one team and those other teams were sticks. So
And
he's
that's
like,
what he
well,
doesn't want.
exactly. So what did he say? He said, well, now I'm going to organize and create my brainchild, which is this super right-handed home run or bust lineup with freaking casino style bets on the rotation. And
Analytics.
he thinks
I
that
know.
if he wins with this, like, then he gets to take all the credit. The problem is, dude, you're not going to win this way.
Francis,
And he got the manager, and he got the perfect manager to where if they ever won, nobody would say it was because of that manager.
Yeah,
And that's what it is.
It's the
That's
puppet
how
master.
this happened.
It's the puppet master.
He is the
it's a puppet.
manager.
yeah. And that's
Cashman is the
another issue.
manager.
Exactly.
Cashman is,
another
and we say this all the time. And people like to say, oh, but Boone is in there, whatever. Boone is like, it's reality television. I don't even know how many conversations this guy had. Like, think about it. How many times have you seen Boone talking to players in the dugout? Like,
Ever.
really think
Never.
about it. How often have
No.
you seen that?
Dude,
How often have you seen that?
what type of manager would
Why don't they
allow
talk to him?
players to jog to first base, get tagged out every game, make mental errors on the field, and they give him a pat on the ass, a cupcake, and a massage with a happy ending after the game?
He takes some bowling.
To
And
be
take some-
fair,
Let's go bowling.
to
And
be
take
fair,
some
Joe
bowling.
Girardi did that with Robinson Cano for how many years?
He did. But let me throw this out there though. Robinson Cano was also the shit.
Yeah.
he backed it up.
Yeah.
Fair.
He backed it up. I'm not saying it's okay. I'm not gonna go on here and be like, okay, if Stanton hit 54 home runs, he could jog every single time. I'd be more okay with it than I would
Correct.
when your entire team does it.
Correct.
It's not one dude. It's not
It's-
one dude. We was
it's
talking about
literally
this earlier. How I didn't even know. I saw it on a highlight today. They got thrown out on the bases again today. The ball's hit in front of the dude. What are you doing?
But
That's
it's
fundamentals of Little League.
Pete. This is what you've been saying for probably going on 2+ years. No, probably 3 at this point since Boone has got there. From the first year he's got there to now,
They're
this
never
team
prepared.
never looks ready.
Never.
And this season is the most glaring time of all. This team, like, you know what it is to stutter, like to stumble out of the gate. Like, dude, we stumbled out of the gate and then continued rolling. Like, while everyone else was right, we just continued to roll and to roll. This team is never prepared. Nobody's held accountable. And you just can see it. Like, this is not a team. Like, I'm sorry. Like, did I have positive things to say after they won 2 in Minnesota? Of course. Why? Because wins always bring positivity and cover a multitude of sins.
Yep.
But if you would have asked me even after the first game win or the second or game 2 win, oh, do you think that this is a team or whatever? Like, no, I'm gonna tell you the same thing. This is not a team. There is a disconnect, and it's major. Like, I don't know that Aaron Judge and Gleyber Torres are the best of buddies. Like, I don't know that Judge is like 100% cool with Gleyber's approach to the game. Like, and it's like, shouldn't a championship team, when you have 2 players of that caliber, aren't those 2 players normally like really decent in terms of their relationship?
Yeah.
I don't see that.
Yeah.
I don't see that.
You don't see none of that. You don't see none of that. Well, me and Felix were talking about that the other day. Felix has a theory that I'm going to let him share it when he wants to share it. I'm not going to share it for him. So he'll share that when he wants to share that. But the one thing we talked about is you don't see that. You don't see a player grab another player to the side. You don't see none of that. It's like everything that happens on this club. It's like, all right, guys, it's fine. We know, it's funny because Jonathan always in the comments, he's been watching me forever. And he's right, man. He said, what kind of manager says he felt bullied? And I'm sorry to keep bringing this up, but
It's true.
It's not something a grown man says coming home from work.
How do you play for that man?
You had Francis. And again, I think some people probably see the things I post, things I like. I get it. You're like, oh, maybe he has a different mindset. It has nothing to do with how a person is. I don't condone bullying. I don't think bullying's good. I don't want to see a person get bullied. But when you're 50 years old or 48 years old, and you're managing the New York Yankees, the manager of you do not say to the media, and I kind of felt like it was bullying. If I'm Hal Steinbrenner, no joke, I'm in the clubhouse that day, pack your shit and get out. You embarrass the Yankees.
It's like,
Is
are
it-
you
went from-
kidding me, bro?
It's an
We went-
embarrassment to the.
Pete.
That was the worst thing I've ever heard any manager ever say.
How
I've
do you
never
went
seen
from-
that.
How do you think
We
the
went-
players felt when they heard Boone saying that? They were like,
I
"We
would
gonna
have
play for
gave him
this
a
guy?"
fucking wedgie when I saw him.
But that's what I mean. You think the players they hear that? Wait, our manager said I kind of felt I got bullied, and we're gonna
Bro.
play for this guy?
But this
Hell no.
is it. Like that's what we're watching now. Like this team is a product of that. Like that's why we're so soft. That's why the Rays come into the Yankee Stadium and dance on our freaking graves, bro. Like because
Mhm.
look at how this team is meant. We are soft, like Charmin tissue soft.
Francis,
Like
we lose,
Charmin.
we lose games now. We play New York afterwards.
We
That's
should
all we
come.
got.
We should.
That's
we
been
should
for
like.
years,
They should
though.
come out. They
That's
should.
been
They should
for
come
a
out.
long time.
That has been for years, and I think it's like. I already said that point. Like in the
They're
last.
trying
slide.
to. They're
Why
trying to
they
get
do
it in
that.
the. They're trying to make the mental aspect of the team. It's okay to lose.
Yeah, except the only thing is it's not. They should come out with a pinstripe version of the tissue of toilet tissue. That's what we are. Let's
We
market
went-
that. I bet you if you put a GT on it, Glaber would be on a
I'll be
billboard
all over.
somewhere.
Oh, definitely, definitely.
It'd be like GT tissue. Wipe your ass with me, like the Tampa Bay Rays do, and everybody else in the American League. I'm so like, and don't get me wrong,
Oh,
man. I know Glaber is coming around. I know, but it's the entire team. When it comes to the softness, that there's nobody exempt from that to me. There's
Man, it
nobody
hurt-
exempt from that.
I'll
to
be
me.
honest, man. It deeply hurts me as a fan, man. I can't even lie. to
Oh
you.
hell yeah!
It
Come
deeply
on.
hurts me as a fan. It really does. I never
It
expected
hurt-
this out
it-
of my Yankees.
It doesn't hurt nobody more than us, Pete.
I know.
Because who
man.
deals with it? Who deals with it more than the fans when the team is soft?
Well, sure as
It's
heck
not
doesn't
them.
hurt the players. They're the ones making millions.
They're making
But-
millions.
But
They
three
go
fourths.
home and cry on their $1 million bank.
Here's the scary thing, Francis, and maybe I'm just getting Twitter's vibe. 3/4 of the fan base don't care.
Really?
They don't see nothing wrong. Well, look how many times when I talked about the bullying, I had many people message me. Oh, but what he basically was saying was
No. Here we go.
it was like he was getting pushed, and that was uncalled for. What are you talking? What are you, 7?
Bro, with Terry Collins was literally screaming down an
Greatest
umpire.
moment.
You gotta give us
Yes.
a chance. You gotta give
Give us a shot, but you gotta give us a shot.
How dare Aaron Boone? How dare he say he was bullied by an umpire? You're supposed to bully the umpire.
Yeah.
If we want to be, if we
My
want
man,
to tell the
that's
truth
like-
about how baseball is played, you're supposed to bully the umpire. That's how it goes.
That's like you walking down the street, your girl, and a dude walks up behind you, slaps a butt, and you sit crisscross applesauce on the floor.
Or you give the dude. You
Yeah.
say, "Hey man, you left without getting her number."
Yeah,
first.
you know, matter of fact, take her. Say, we're
Let
going
me
to
get-
go. We got movie tickets. They're already paid for.
What-
Go.
What time should I pick her up? Should I bring you guys breakfast? What are you, a Starbucks or a Dunkin'? guy?
Breakfast, lunch. What do you want? You want me to get? I'll get. Matter of fact, take my wallet. You're gonna rob me too.
Yeah.
Take my
You want
wallet.
the car?
and
You want the car keys?
give you the keys and everything.
Yeah,
Go.
the car's down the block. Go ahead. Yeah, it's
I mean,
gassed up and everything.
It's shocking to me that I didn't get more of a reaction of it, to the point of I was like, shit, this is gonna be on the Yes Network tomorrow. Somebody gonna repost this video, somebody big, because it's gonna blow up in the media. The media didn't say a word about it. Nobody asked them. Nobody felt the need to say,
It's
Aaron,
embarrassing.
what do you exactly mean by bullying? That managers have had debate, back and forths and arguments with coaches since the beginning of the time of baseball. What did you feel that was bullying? I'm a little confused here.
Let me
That's
see.
what I told you.
What
They're
did Cash
afraid
do?
to ask that.
But what did Kevin Cash do when he felt like our pitchers were victimizing his lineup?
It went at him.
Did he
He
go
went
to
at
the
him.
media? Did he go to the media and say he felt like our pitchers were bullying his lineup? Or did he go and
No,
call
he-
us out and send us back home with our tails between our legs?
Yep.
That's a
Yep.
fucking manager. Excuse my
That's a
French,
leader.
but
No, you're
that's a damn manager. That's
a
how you
leader.
do it.
That's a leader.
And don't get me wrong. When he said that whole thing about I got a whole stable of guys that throw 98, I was like, oh hell, he better not be throwing at my guys or whatever.
Yeah, we were hot.
But
we were hot.
Yeah.
I was hot. But you know what?
Boone wouldn't say.
Back that shit up. He bet.
He would have said,
Boone
said we
wouldn't
got a
say
bunch of
it.
guys that make cupcakes.
He said, hey, Boone would say, "Have you seen Wandy? Have you seen
Yeah.
Peralta?"
Oh man,
We went
So
from
Francis,
savages in the box to I felt bullied real quick.
bullied in the
Yo,
box, and they getting bullied in the
awesome.
box too. They are
Oh,
getting
yeah.
bullied.
Awesome.
but
That
what
is
happened?
such
But what
a
happened to that
shame,
Boone
man.
though? A couple years ago, when he would come out
So-
with savages in the box. What happened to that Boone? With the
Actually-
Well, they
fire
probably
going out?
they
That
probably
was
looked at
all
his,
blown up. That was
So
all
they
blown
probably
out of proportion.
looked at his Q rating and said, "Yeah, it was a little bit too aggressive for the
Right.
conservatives on this point." Like this is the thing. There's too much of that too. Like I don't know, like how deep you guys like into all that stuff, but like when you bring the politics into the sports and things
It's
like
bad,
that,
it's
now
bad,
you're
it's
bringing
bad.
things like you're bringing people who are how you say like image consultants and things like
Yeah.
that, which the Yankees have all of this crap
Yep.
there, and these people are literally like giving Aaron Boone his Q rating. Like
Yeah.
this is how people feel like when you say that, this is how people respond to this. Twitter does this, Instagram does this, or whatever. They're showing this to players and stuff or whatever. Like they're getting too caught up in all this nonsense. Do you think Tony La Russa gives a damn about his Q rating? He doesn't care.
No.
He doesn't know
no,
what a Q rating is. He doesn't
no,
care.
not at all.
He's not running for office. So
and
why
that's
does he
and
care?
that's the thing. That's the thing. It's funny too. Like Francis, me and you talked about this before. I think we talked it might have been one of the roundtables. Probably was one of the roundtables. But we even said it too, going back to, Aaron Hicks letting a social issue keep you out of the lineup and not playing and be like, I dedicated this team. You guys gave him the opportunity just to not play baseball. Like, and
Yeah.
I'm like, all of us have a heart. We all have a heart. We all could understand a player could hurt from something. But the best idea of something like that is to do that. And you're right on line when you come to when politics enter baseball, you get all this ugly shit that comes along with it.
Yeah.
And I think you're seeing a lot of that with the way this team is being ran. I truly do. It's like everybody is being handled with kid gloves.
And that's the problem. You can't have a team run by a manager who's Mr. like politically correct, man. I'll never say nothing bad about my players to the whatever.
Can't.
It's like,
Can't.
bro, I'm sorry.
Can't.
Sometimes if a guy sucks, he sucks. And you can say that, bro. Like Cashman came out this year and said, oh, well, I don't know why Gary Sanchez didn't know why he was benched last year because like everyone else knew or whatever. Like, yeah, that's the kind of shit that a manager is supposed to say and not
Right.
have a problem with it. And a player is, if he got a problem with it, you know what he's supposed to do? Well, he's supposed to figure it out
Right. That's right.
and give them a reason to not bench him again.
That's right.
But now it's like, no. Cash is like, no, don't worry. I'll come out and say that. Booney, you just go out there and tell them how great they are. And that's it. That's what's going to build a championship here. And it's like, no, bro, you got to tell them when they suck. Like when somebody, like when, and on top of that, when somebody sucks and they're making error after error or not running down to first base, hustling down the base or whatever, and making errors on the base path and stuff like that, you have to call them out. And if it doesn't work when you do it the first time privately, then do it in front of everybody in the clubhouse the next time. And if that doesn't work, then do it in the dugout. And if that doesn't work, say it in a press conference. Like, try freaking everything. Not this whole thing where it's just like, no, I believe in my guys and that's it. Like, you're never going to say anything to me that's going to stop me from believing in my guys. Yeah, all right, man.
There's no
You
fear.
believe in your guys.
There's no fear and there's no accountability.
That's
Zero.
true.
Anybody can say whatever they want. If you look at this Yankee team and you go, oh, they're held accountable. Where? Where? This is
Yeah, all right.
I don't watch. None of us watch every team close like we watch the Yankees. I understand that. I get that. I don't think there's another team out there that turns a blind eye to everything that happens in this organization. Look, enough getting to even Cashman, and you guys know I've had this argument with a lot of people, and I'm gonna keep it the same. There was the article the article today was really good until that one thing that I read that was pretty hilarious. I don't know where the hell that came from. I didn't know banged means apparently firing in another country. How the hell am I supposed to? The dude said Aaron Boone needs to get banged. I was like, what the hell? And he's like,
I
what
think that's
happens
what they
after
say.
that?
They say that in the UK, right? Oh, he got banged,
apparently
he got
banged
fired.
means like, and fired. But I'm like, it was a reporter here. It was a New Jersey Times or whatever, the New Jersey, whatever it is, the Virgin Record or whatever. I was like, okay, that was kind of odd to see that. But anyway, in that article, they're talking about that, about, how much wrong has happened with this club and how many bad decisions they've really made and where they can actually even go from here. So, I'm sitting there reading this thing and I'm like, you almost say to yourself, what is the change that needs to be made? Even if you get rid of Cashman and you get rid of Boone, yes, it's a start, and I think we're beyond that point. I think that should have happened already. What happens? You know what I mean? Like literally, really. What do I think they could play better under somebody? Yes, I do. I think somebody could make a difference. Managers do make a difference. Believe it or not, younger generation. Austin, I know you're young, but you seem like you know what you're talking about, obviously. But there's a lot of the young people on Twitter who really believe a manager doesn't do anything for a club at
Makes
all.
no sense. No sense at all.
They don't think a manager does anything.
That's
But
the
we're
case.
seeing
They're not
that
a
with some
manager.
guys.
I
And
hate to say this. Go ahead, Pete. Sorry.
No, go ahead. Finish. You're good.
I hate to say this because I was never a Joe Girardi fan. This team is not in fourth place under Joe Girardi.
No, not at all.
It's a fact.
Oh,
It's
not
a
at all.
fact and a half. Joe Girardi never had a team with this amount of talent, which is crazy because he coached 2017. But 2017 they outperformed what they were supposed to do.
Correct.
Oh, by the way, they have the worst record up until this point since 2008, the year they didn't make the playoffs. But they also had Hughes and all these young guys in the rotation. They didn't have a huge expectation. They didn't have this
Kennedy,
that was
expectation.
Girardi's first year. That was
First year.
that was Girardi's first year.
And he just won the World Series the next year. But yeah.
Here's. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
You're good. From like 13, 14 through until 2017 when they overperformed. Even 2017, there was no talent on that team other than Judge in 17.
That's
You had
right.
Chase Headley playing third.
Yep.
You had Jacoby Ellsbury being hurt for 99% of the year, and then
Yep.
magically come playoff time, I'm going to DH.
Yep.
My gosh, who else? The 1 year when A-Rod was suspended and Jeter was hurt, they had Brent Lillibridge and was it Luis Cruz playing short and third?
Yeah.
And they never had a losing record.
And he just recently just swept us.
Yeah, I mean it's like, bro, this team with Girardi would be
At first,
probably in first place. Like it
first.
doesn't matter. Even with all of Girardi's like the Binder Joe stuff and all that stuff, like it would still be annoying. Don't get me wrong. We'd still be probably like complaining about like bullpen usage and things like that or whatever. But this team would probably be in first place.
That is a really good point by Austin. If you guys don't mind me sharing this real quickly. Okay, I'm gonna read you the players on 2017 real quick.
Eduardo Nunez, Lillibridge, Cruz.
I could go. I got it right here. Just listen.
Teixeira was hurt that year too.
Listen to
Overbay,
these guys.
Hafner, Wells.
Just listen to some of these names. Sanchez, Chris Carter was early on their first baseman. Starlin Castro, Didi we know about, Chase Headley, Brett Gardner, Jacoby Ellsbury, Judge, and that's when they had Matt Holliday as a DH. Aaron Hicks, these are other guys that played. Aaron Hicks, Torreyes, that's the year he did pretty good. Romine came up and started doing good. Greg Bird came out of nowhere and had the big home run. Didn't do shit anything other than that, but Tyler Wade finally coming up. Garrett Cooper, that's the year of Rob Refsnyder.
Yeah.
G-Man Choi they had for a little while. Dustin, that's the year of Dustin Fowler coming up, major league debut, hurting his leg. Then you go to the rotation. Severino, Tanaka, Montgomery, Sabathia, Pineda. Then they traded for Gray, Chapman, Green, Betances, Warren, and Chasen Shreve. So, and David Robinson also was very good when he came back to the Yankees that year.
Well, since I brought it up, I had to look up 2013. Okay, they went 85 and 77. Chris Stewart, Lyle Overbay, Robbie Cano, Eduardo Nunez,
Vernon Wells, right? Was that
Jason
the
Nix, Vernon Wells,
Wells?
Brett Gardner, Ichiro Suzuki, Travis Hafner, Grandy Soriano. That might have been the year they traded for Soriano.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
Then we brought him back.
I remember that. Soriano was a beast for us too.
Yep.
Yeah.
David Adams, Mark Reynolds, Kevin Youkilis. That was the Zoilo Almonte year.
What was it?
Zolio.
Brendan Ryan, Luis Cruz, Brennan Bosch, Ben Francisco.
God.
What was the record?
85 and 77.
I guarantee you, Boone will be fired that year with that roster.
Reed Brignac, Chris Nelson, Brent Lillibridge, Alberto Gonzalez, Melky Mesa, Thomas Neal. I don't even remember him.
I don't remember Thomas Neal.
Corbin Joseph and Travis Ishikawa.
Yeah, I remember that.
Oh, I
Oh,
remember
oh,
Chicago.
Jesus
Ishi,
Christ.
pitching-
had that. He had that multi-home run game. Then he just died.
Yep.
Then
The
he just got,
pitching
I think
staff
got
was
hurt. He got hurt right after it.
the pitching staff was Kuroda, Hughes, Sabathia, Nova, and Pettit.
Ivan Nova.
The bullpen. Mo played that year. Maybe that was the year Mo got hurt. He played in 5 games.
Who was that? Was that Soriano that year that took over?
I
I forgot
Rafael?
about Soriano. I forgot about him.
don't see him on here. So
I thought the following year.
weird.
They
Who was the closer that year then? Robertson?
D-Rob's on here.
it had to be
Um,
Robinson then.
Oh wait, you know what? I'm sorry. I was looking at the hitting stats for the pitchers. It was Mo. That was his last year.
Okay.
Robertson, Sean Kelly, Jabba, Boone Logan, Adam Warren, Preston Claiborne, David Huff, and Vidal Nuno.
David Huff.
The Rex Specs.
Ah,
I mean,
Oh,
85
man.
and 77 with that team.
85 and
They're-
77.
Imagine you're running
30.
this roster now.
They're 33 and 32 with Aaron Judge, Giancarlo Stanton, Gleyber Torres, Gio Urshela,
Gary.
They just don't play. I
and
mean,
Garrett Cole.
you know, it's funny because
It's nuts.
it's fundamentals, man. It really is. It's sad because you almost like when you watch them play, you just like want to rip your own hair out. You're like, this is basic stuff that this team doesn't do. And then they showed Boone in the bench on the bench today when Odor gets thrown out and he's just sitting there chatting. I'm like, the ball was in front of the dude. What are you guys thinking?
He drives me as insane. If there's any Cowboys fans that are watching this, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Jason Garrett, when he was on the sideline during games, clapping after Prescott threw an interception.
Right on the money. Yep.
Like what? I'm a Cowboy fan, so it drove me up a wall, and I'm watching it again now with the Yankees.
That's why I keep telling you guys earlier in the live. I guarantee you half of these players don't like Boone, are not gonna play for Boone based on what he's been doing. Like why am I gonna play for a manager that doesn't care, that is not showing anything, no guts, no fight? I might as well play for Nevin. Poor little old Nevin over here dying sick, and he's over here fighting for us. Have him manage.
I hated
Anybody. I take Mendoza. I'll take any of them right now, honestly.
Anybody.
Just
over
somebody,
Boone.
somebody for a change.
Give me
Nick Tatura.
Give me
give me
my
a-
boy Nick. My boy Nick.
That's a
My boy
man.
Nick.
You give me a new GM and Buck Showalter at the helm,
I'm down.
Yeah.
I'm down.
and I'm rolling.
Matter of fact, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with an Italian flavor here. We need to get Bobby Valentine back.
Oh, Bobby V.
Oh,
gosh.
I'm
Bobby
joking.
V.
I'm joking. He wouldn't be my number one,
Oh,
but
Ozzie Guillen.
Ozzie Guillen. Hey, let's
Ozzie
let's get some elbow drops on the field.
The
Let's
Yankees.
get some elbow drops on the field. The Yankees could have handled the media def. Imagine the Yankees. Imagine Lindsey Adler asking him a question.
Oh
Get outta
my
here.
God, they
He better have a suit on when she does it.
Oh shit! I tell
He
you.
better
Ozzie
have a
Guillen
suit on.
Yo,
Ozzie
Ozzy
Guillen.
Ozzy didn't
Guillen would
play,
have been
man.
fine. I love Ozzie Guillen.
Ozzy's a legend. I love Ozzy Guillen. He's a legend.
He'll be suspended every game.
Guys, you know the sad thing though, man? We're entering a time where we're not going to see that in baseball no more.
No.
Oh, it's
No.
over.
It's over.
over.
No more Lou Piniella kicking
Nah,
dirt and
it's
throwing
over.
bases.
All that's over.
It's going soft. This sport's going soft.
It's so
But
sad.
that's
Like,
the problem.
I almost want to call a moment of silence.
It's a fact. We gotta hit.
feel like it was a time. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, man. It's like, oh my God. It's like you think now and you're like, you know, I just feel like the way this roster's constructed, they need a no-nonsense guy in that dugout. They just do.
You know, I hated what La Russa did with Mercedes a couple weeks ago when he hit that home run, but I would take La Russa on this team right now in a heartbeat.
I said, Austin, the
100%.
same exact thing than the last live. I didn't even. I said I was like, I don't agree with him calling out Yerman for that or whatever. I thought it was like a little old school, a little too much. But I still Like that's the flaws that I would want in my manager.
Yeah.
Not
did you
not
guys,
this nonsense.
Well, did you guys notice the scary thing? And I say scary in a sense because I think you're going to start having more of a new school, old school war going on in baseball. And it's already kind of started with the analytics stuff and the CNI test. When La Russa was hired, why did so many reporters feel the need to come out and be like, oh, no, he's not a fit. He can't manage a young team. How dare they? How is he going to manage a team where their star shortstop's black? And I'm like, what in the world has that got to do with anything?
That has nothing to do with nothing.
But do you guys? I'm not making it up.
What
I'm
the
not making it up though. You guys remember that?
Yep.
You guys remember that, right? They said, how can he manage a team with a star young black shortstop? But I'm sitting there saying, is this guy not a Hall of Fame manager? Like, did I miss something?
What are we talking about here, man? This is not. It's
People
not. They just
looking
look
for something
anything.
to complain about. Yep.
Exactly. They
But
just look for
It's
anything.
scary because these are the people that are asking these managers questions. Like Lindsey Adler that time flat out said, it's not my job to hold him accountable. What?
Like, so what is your job? I'd love to know what your job is. Because if I was a journalist and listen, if they ever made.
Oh, we're getting press passes soon enough.
Oh my God! Listen,
within 2 years, we're gonna have press passes. By the way,
I was just telling you, if they ever
You'll be
made
fired.
the mistake on their end of letting me into that room,
nah, man.
oh my Lord! Do you know? Like,
we'll have press passes for one day. One
are
day,
you kidding?
good.
I'm gonna have to pull a Bobby V and come back in a disguise.
Yes.
because there's no way that I'm sitting in a room or sitting in front of a screen, whatever, and listening to Aaron Boone tell me he got bullied by an umpire.
Oh
I would be
God.
like, I would unmute immediately and be like, I'm sorry, Boone, what did you just say?
Can you imagine?
Yeah, I'm not saying it kind of felt like bullying. Boone, go home, take a shower, change your pad, eat some ice cream, and then we're gonna do this again tomorrow because I cannot believe
Have some peanut butter M&Ms.
that you thought it was okay. Like, what are you talking about? Like, how could I be Giancarlo Stanton and look at you in the face and think that you're the man that's supposed to lead me?
And you're getting Carlo could break him with his pinky.
I'm
Like,
so happy. I'm so happy that
on.
other people actually understood where my frustration was when that happened.
Oh yeah.
Because I'm telling you guys, I was shocked. I made that video and I said to myself, I'm making this video because nobody attacked it yet. I'm going to be the first person to attack that. They're going to play this on MLB Network and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody. The next morning, I woke up on one of that Sports Spider site that shows you like every article about the Yankees.
Yeah.
There was not one mention of it. Nobody has nothing. It was like it was common normals that an old man comes home and cries to his wife or his kids or somebody that he got bullied at work today. It's like the new normal. It's okay to be bullied. It's fine. And I'm sitting there saying, my God, nobody thought this was a problem.
It's so funny because so you put the video out, you said in the chat you were going to do the video. You put the video. I watched the video, and I was like really happy, obviously, because I agreed. And then I was looking for other people to echo the sentiment. Crickets.
Nothing.
Nobody.
Nothing.
And then that's when I went and I go to my wife and I'm just like, look, the people that we're working with, like the NYYNEWS, like that crew or whatever, like. I don't know how I ended up with these people, but I definitely ended up with the right people because there is just no way that I could end up in another group of whatever and somebody's going to tell me, nah, it's okay. He just said he was bullied and it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. It's not a big that the manager of the New York Yankees says that he was bullied by an umpire. I was screaming at umpires in junior high school.
Damn right.
What are we doing?
It's funny. I want to bring that up because me and my fiance got a funny saying, right? Like we consider ourselves to be normal. We consider ourselves to get angry at things you need to be angry about and stuff like that. So a lot of times when we find ourselves angry at something, we look at each other and go, "Is it just us?" And we're like, "Are we the problem? Is there something wrong with us?" And I'm like, "Babe, no, we are normal. Like the stuff we get aggravated about, we should get aggravated about. Like that's the normal stuff. The things today that you're seeing in just the world overall is like the regular things of common society that are wrong are now glorified as okay.
That's the thing. The new normal.
The new normal. It's going
the
with
new
everything.
normal.
And Francis is spot on. It's made its way to Major League Baseball. It's made its way to the greatest organization.
You're muted.
You're
Pete.
muted. You're muted. That's that BS I'm talking about. That's the man right now. They knew he was about to spit some fire. And they just cut it off. It's probably Boone. We got a Boone spy in here somewhere. Is that you, Booney?
1984.
Is that you, Booney? Are you listening? You better not be
Still
listening
muted.
before we bully your ass.
You're still muted, Pete.
Joe's here. Joe, where you at?
I'm here.
Oh,
Yeah, see, I knew Joe.
Oh,
was
there we
here.
go.
He always
Good now.
rocks out
There we
with
go.
us.
So let me
You're
let me throw this out there too. It all goes back to, and this is why I had such a big problem with this. When Major League Baseball moved the All-Star game. And I said I had such a big problem with that because you want to look good. And I always talk about optics. All these celebrities, they always want optics just to look good. And I remember saying to myself, baseball put out a statement like weeks after that saying, we care about being diverse. My people, did you not just take $100 million away from black businesses and move it to a white neighborhood?
Yep.
And didn't think twice about it.
I don't care about skin color. I don't give two craps about it. The thing that bothers me is don't try to play the game. You're baseball. Stay out of it. All you had to say was, we don't delve into politics. We're going to keep it where it is. We know we have an idea of what we're doing. It is beyond insanity to me that we have entered political atmosphere in every aspect of life. And nobody wants to stick to their principles.
No. Because you have to actually be like a real adult to do that. We're living in a world where it's like actually being an adult is frowned upon. Like, you're supposed to be soft. You're supposed to be L.I. Yankee King. You just tweeted me like how, but I don't know how what. So like, elaborate. I'm sorry. But my point was, actually being an adult and sticking to your principles is looked at as closed-minded, old school, like you're not. And it's like, whoa, don't get me wrong. There are people out there who are closed-minded, and that is, that's a flaw that they have. But being a person of principles and morals that you stick to doesn't make you closed-minded.
mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. I don't know when that became the definition of closed-minded. But that is not what closed-minded is. It also doesn't make you
a bad person, because that's the new thing.
It doesn't.
A bad person. Oh,
That's a new norm, yeah. You're a bad person. Yeah, that's a new norm.
But that's my thing. It's like, so I'm closed-minded because I think that Aaron Boone is a wuss for saying that he was bullied by an umpire. It's like, no, I'm just a man of principle who thinks that a grown man who is a manager of a professional baseball team should not be getting bullied by an official.
Oh, by the way, Frank, I was also told that I must have what do they say? That I have no sympathy for people that are bullied. And I said, yes, for children I do.
Are you kidding me? Of course.
Of course.
Real victims of bullying.
Of course
I'm with them 100%.
But
matter of fact, like, I would love to fight their bullies.
Right. What you just said is spot on. I am not going to sit here and allow a major league manager of the greatest sports franchise in the world give his excuse that he felt bullied tonight. No. No, I'm good. I'm good.
Can you imagine Alex Cora in the clubhouse with the Red Sox just replaying that on a loop and laughing at us?
I would.
If I was Cora,
100%.
I would literally take that and just have it in the clubhouse on a loop. Like, hold on, guys, come here. Devi, come here. Listen to this. Mira esto. And just play it on a loop over and over.
Clubhouse.
Like we were kind of.
It'll be played in center field of Fenway before every game against the Yankees. And TikTok. TikTok where they do that little like thug life things and the glasses come down.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even do that. I'll put like one of those sad ass faces on them, or the clown face. The clown face.
They gotta put the crying Jordan face superimposed over his face. I just felt like I was kind of bullied. Crying Jordan. You're such a
oh man, that would be classic.
I'm sorry. And you know what the thing is? Look, and again, I'll say what I said in the last live now. Like, it's not that I hate Aaron Boone as a person.
Not at all.
I hate him as a manager.
Yes.
I just hate him as a manager.
He's not the right one. He's not the right one.
Maybe he can manage. Maybe he should manage the Rays or the Blue Jays or one of our rivals. I think he'd be great over there. but I just don't want him managing my team.
Nah,
That's
man.
it. Like I want a real manager. I'm sorry. Like I'm
But
jealous.
Francis, as long as you have Cashman as GM and
That's my
controls
concern,
everything,
man. That's my concern.
that's
But
why
maybe,
you would never
but
have a real
maybe,
manager.
maybe we spoke about this the last night at the round table where we said, what about the possibility that Hal gives Cashman the ultimatum, like either you admit defeat
Yep.
with your brainchild and go back to just being the manager. Like we'll let you keep the title for the optics and everything, but in reality, you will only be the manager, and that will be what you're doing. And let me bring in a real manager to manage this team, and that's where we go. Or I'm gonna have to let you go.
But
But he
Francis,
can do that.
have we seen Hal this season come out?
No, I was gonna
No.
say that.
So
And this is
imagine
my
now.
thing. Well, imagine this. Think about this for a second. None of us know what this is like. None of us know what this is like. We all understand that. I bought my Peloton bike, and I'm gonna set a small example here. $2,600. Okay, still pay it monthly. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not no big baller like that. I can't just pay it up front. Okay, it's an expensive ass machine. I told my fiance when I get this thing, I will work out on this thing every single day, guaranteed, because how much money I bought it for. It's not going to
Exactly.
become no rack. I'm going to use it. Can you imagine paying $220+ million to this team and you're quiet? How are you quiet? I'm like,
I don't know.
I am. I'm going to use the key word of this whole thing. I'm flabbergasted.
Flabbergasted.
I'm flabbergasted.
A good friend of mine said, I think it was the Saturday night game of the series with Boston last weekend, that it was one of those games that Hal was actually at the game. They didn't show him on TV or whatever, but a good friend of mine was like, no, Hal was there. I saw him because when I was leaving, like I saw him leave, and he's like, normally like he doesn't like leave. Like apparently the games happen and then like he stays, and by the time he leaves, the stadium is probably empty, or he leaves before people start leaving. But he says he saw him and he was like, I don't know, man. The guy did not look happy. And he was like, I think it's because we were booing them like during the game. I was like, you think? I was like, you think he didn't like that? He was like, well, I don't know, man, but he didn't look happy. I was like, imagine you spent $204 million for your fans to boo your product while you were there watching. I'd be pissed too.
I hope he was there with the Fire Boone game, because before you guys got on, Francis, I said it. Yankee fans are doing a disservice that's not the chant every game they're losing at home.
No, they want to chant fuck Altuve when we're playing other teams.
I tweeted,
this is
like,
it.
Are we playing the Houston
I
Astros
can't-
every
I
single
can't
series?
even-
What
I
are we
can't
doing
even
here?
go
That is the corny. If any of you guys
It's
in this
so
live
stupid.
chat, if any of you guys in this live chat agree with that, or you're doing that or whatever, you got to get a different life. You got to get a new life. You got to move on.
Get
Francis,
It's
lost.
not good.
Get
Francis,
lost.
now we having the Mets and Houston Astros joining together and saying boo the Yankees. Like, oh, Yankees suck.
But that, to me, you know what? To me, I love that shit. Go ahead, because that's what little brother does. You're playing a completely different team and you join in unison to say that we suck. Go ahead, continue doing that. It's been a long time since '86. I get it.
We're becoming the Mets.
But we should not be doing that.
We're
not
becoming the
little
Mets.
brother.
I talked about that today. We're becoming
what are
the
we
laughing
doing?
stock of New York.
We're
Literally.
gonna like
And the
we're
league.
gonna be giving freaking the Astros real estate in our minds rent free. Like, I'm sorry, yeah, they cheated in 2017. I get it. They were still cheating in 2019. But guess what? We all knew that. But it's over. They're not the reason we suck right now.
Damn right. Hey Joe.
So why?
You go to a lot of these games. Have you heard that?
I actually haven't been to a game.
Oh, I thought.
No, I stopped going. Hell no, I'm not gonna go see this. I'm not gonna see this.
He's not paying the salaries on his team. Frick that.
I started
Joe is
only
like,
going
do you
on-
know? Joe is like, do you know how many big releases are coming out? You think I'm putting my money to this terrible product that's not
Right.
going to appreciate in value?
Yeah,
Go ahead,
I'm
Joe.
not,
I feel
I'm
you,
not
bro.
doing
I
it.
see.
I was only going
I'm
to
a
Cole
goat.
games.
Yeah.
I was only
And
going
look-
to Cole games, and he hasn't even been. I mean, it happens. They have tough stretches, but I mean,
Yeah.
even with going to him, the games I went to, the team wasn't even hitting.
They were
Guys,
losing.
the moment the Phillies scored the first run in the first inning today, I stopped watching because I already knew we was gonna lose. I already knew.
Damn. And it's a shame.
That's a shame. Because
It's
normally
a shame
back
that they really just like got smoked 7-0.
guys,
They
back
didn't even
then,
like.
guys, back then when the Yankees were down 3 runs in the 8th inning, we had all the confidence in the world the Yankees will come back and win that game. Now the opposing team scored 1 run in the first inning against the Yankees. We already know. Oh, here we go. We
Yeah,
lost.
you start getting agita immediately.
Yeah.
That's embarrassing.
Dude, do you remember I don't know if you guys, but it was 2017. Like there were times like late in the year or whatever, like where they would be like down in the game or whatever, even late in the game or whatever, extra innings before this, extra inning rule, where I didn't care what time it was, like, or how early I had to be up. I was not going to sleep.
No,
I just
it
was not.
bad.
I was like, nope. I was like, no. I got to see it.
Didn't
I'll-
that year
I'll
they had like
believe
they
The
had the
Orioles
most
game.
comebacks in baseball, didn't they?
Yeah, they
Yeah,
did.
it was
Yeah,
13,
dude.
13 games,
Yeah, dude.
13 wins.
I kept telling, I would tell my brother, and I'd be like, look, I don't believe that they're losing a game until the team gets the last out on them. That's when I believe that they're losing. Like, and I don't care what the score is, and that's what it was this year, dude. If it's 3-0 in the 3rd inning and we've got 1 hit, I'm like,
Fuck that. I'm going to sleep.
I'm like, what's my schedule like tomorrow? Like, let me see. Like, what are we doing? Like, and don't get me wrong. Like, I got to be honest with you guys. Like, I haven't turned off a game this year yet. And it's like, I wish I could. I really do. I wish I could. But it's like, there's like this masochism thing I guess I got. Like, I just can't turn them off. Like, I got to.
Today was the first day that I shut it off. I'm like you. I can't turn it on. I can't even, if I'm listening to it on the radio, I can't shut it off because we are diehard Yankees fans. This is it lives in us. Like, there's no way this is the product that is gonna be all year. There's no way that Hal is gonna be like content with this product all season long and just be fine. No, I guess I'm holding on a thin rope, believing that okay, the next game is gonna be turned around. They're gonna turn it around the next game. And so far, I'm looking like an ass. So far.
So let me just ask. Let's ask this question. This could be the wrap-up topic of the night. The Yankees are what? What do we say? 33 and 32.
Yep.
33 and 32. Okay. They're 1 game above 500. How much longer? I mean, we could put it 2 ways. Let's leave it like this. The hell with it. What's your confidence level of a 1 to a 10 that this team would make any type of managerial change? Is it relatively possible that this team could be 5, 6, 7 games under, 10 games out of the division and not fire Boone? Is that possible?
It's like what we said. Cashman wants a puppy as a manager. And
yeah, but how do you okay, so certain things do become optics. Certain things do become we gotta, something has to give, right? The dam gotta break somewhere. Something has to happen. At what point do the Yankees go and they gotta say, I mean, I think right now where they are is enough to fire them. 100%. No doubt about it.
If they continue to skid like this, like
gotta go.
Boone is gonna get fired just off the strength of somebody. Like, they just have to make a move, like optically, like Pete said, like they just have to do something.
They gotta have a scapegoat. They gotta have a scapegoat.
Something. Exactly. So Boone is the easiest scapegoat right now. He's almost certainly gone. Like, I think for Boone to stay after this year, they literally would have to like go to the World Series or some shit.
Oh, see, I'm a little different than you on that one. I think the love affair with Boone is so strong they'll keep him no matter what.
Really? Like, even if you think even if they like don't make the playoffs, or
no, if they don't make the playoffs, I don't know how you could bring them back. If they make the playoffs and lose, I think it's going to be the same cycle.
You think they bring them back?
I think so.
Yeah, I think they
3-year deal again.
Oh my God.
3-year deal?
Yeah.
How many years do you have left?
This is it. This is last year.
No. Oh, in that case,
this is him and Cashman's last year.
Oh, really?
Oh,
I guarantee
they both got to go. They got to go. So then we should be rooting for them to lose. I'm sorry, guys.
Like, I'm telling you, no joke. My gut feeling is that this is what Brian Cashman wants. If he's
I
not
can't do 3
gone,
years of this.
No,
and
I
the
can't.
Yankees even lose an ALDS, or they lose a wild card game, even worse. I don't think he's out.
Well,
You can't keep Cashman here. I'm sorry, I'm not Cashman. Well, yeah, Cashman too, but you can't keep Boone after this year. There's just no way. There's just no way.
No.
There's just no way.
I
He
have
hung-
no confidence in them in them making a change if it comes to that point. Now, if it's like I'm saying, if they fall so far into the division, and God forbid it comes to the point of where they're selling, Hal got a decision to make, not Cashman. You can't go to a deadline then with 2 guys that are severely underperforming.
I was
You
just
gotta
gonna
put
say that.
somebody in there.
I was
You
just
got to
gonna say
put
that.
somebody in there as the acting GM to make
To be
these
honest,
changes. And
Isn't it telling that they didn't extend them already? Because remember there was all this talk about extending Boone after like last year and whatever, and it just never happened.
I told
Yeah.
you guys that if I'm
Did we
Hal,
lose Pete?
did we lose Pete?
no, I think I'm on it. You guys can hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
my-
you're here.
My thing went out. Let me
See,
if
I
can
didn't
fix
know
it.
that this year was the final year for Cashman and Boone. If that's the case, then how I'm putting some hot seat on Cashman and Boone. Listen, guys, this is your final year. You guys will turn it around. I'm gonna look for a new general manager and a new manager. But if he doesn't do that, that just shows us that Hal's content with just making the playoffs, getting eliminated every single year, and just receiving money in his pockets. And that's sad.
But think about it like this: if you're Hal Steinbrenner and Cashman's contract is up after this year, and Booney's contract is up after this year, right? You could have extended them after last year. You could have extended
Exactly.
them after 2019. I
Yeah.
think the fact that they haven't got extended
That's
and we
something.
haven't even heard about talk, like I think that's as much hot seat as we're gonna get from Hal. I don't know if it's gonna actually motivate them to do anything, because I mean this year hasn't really gone too well, but I think that's about as much hot seat as we're getting. I think Boone is definitely on the hot seat. Like the fact that he didn't get extended and the fact that like the team is playing the way they are this year, I really feel like he's the easy scapegoat move. But I'm more pessimistic about the fact that I don't think. Okay, hold on. I'm sorry, because LI Yankee King just tweeted something, and I think it's going to anger me.
Oh my
It said,
god.
it seems
God,
that
please.
I was right about me being able to run this. No. Can I? Is there a way for me to get the Bugs Bunny gif here? I can't get it. Justin.
What is this?
I'd
No.
almost want to call him out so I could.
By the way,
no,
P,
I don't
he,
wanna put
he
him on.
keeps asking me if you've seen his dono.
Oh yeah, I saw it. No, you're not a fit for the GM. No, I wasn't talking about you thinking out of the box to become the general manager, because nobody in
No.
their right damn mind will look in their mind at all. Starts with trading for Robinson Cano and Kikuchi.
No, Pete, restructure Patrick Corbin's contract.
Yeah. Call Patrick Corbin up. Say you got a hell of a deal. We want to take $40 million away from you. That's gonna work. And then we're doing a 14 trade with the Mets, the Mariners, the Cardinals, the fucking Yamori Giants, and the Korean League.
Justin.
Whatever the fuck is. Are you out
Justin.
your mind? Just
And
stop.
we trade DJ. He's declining.
They called the
Justin.
Brooklyn Dodgers while we're out.
Dude, like Justin, I will tell you this. Listen, man, I give you credit for your persistence with the way that you keep proposing these trades, but that doesn't change the fact that they're just not good trades and they don't make this team better. And I know that me saying that is going to make you tweet out how, but we went over this a million
Brandon.
times, bro. Like they're just
It's
not.
the same
they're not
exact
good
trade
trades.
proposals. He be tagging us on the same exact trade proposals. You
I know, but
I'll
You know
never
what I'm trying to
I'll
tell him?
never respond to
They're
a tweet
not-
again. I told him. I promise.
That's what.
I'll never
Yeah,
respond to a
that's
tweet again.
and
I can't.
and I don't know if he's noticed. Like just like a lot of the tweets, I haven't been responding except for like I think I responded to one recently where I was like, he's actually right about because he was right about something. Like Boone wasn't to blame for one loss. We couldn't even move a runner over in the extra inning. He said something like that, and I was like, okay, I'll give him credit for that. But it's the trades, man. These are they're outside the box. That's true, but that doesn't make them good. Like DJ is not declining just yet. Okay, we're not going to make a 4-team trade. We're not going to be the first team that initiates the 4-team trade in the middle of the season. Okay, Chance Cisco, he's not the savior at catcher. He's not
His
the answer.
parents even named him Chance.
That was the only chance he had.
Right.
Dude, like it's
What?
like Giancarlo. What I always tell you about Giancarlo, Justin, it holds true. Nobody is trading for that contract. Nobody.
No.
I'm sorry, nobody. And even if there was a team that was willing to trade for that contract, it better be like San Diego or LA or something. Because if it's Seattle, Giancarlo has no interest in waiving his no trade to go waste his life in Seattle. I'm sorry.
But even when you looked at his deals, and I actually did, so I'm almost sad to admit that I actually read through them.
Oh no, I've read through every last
Do
one.
you know how
Every
much
last one.
money he actually added to the payroll?
Oh, he brought in
Imagine.
Dexter Fowler, Yusei Kikuchi, Patrick Corbin,
Sager, Corey Sager,
Corey
Robinson
or
Cano,
Kyle.
Yeah.
Kyle
Oh,
Sager, Robinson Cano.
We would be close to $1 billion
Oh,
payroll.
and I forgot the other thing that I want to, my other rebuttal to Justin is that Justin, Patrick Corbin will not renegotiate his contract. I'm sorry. Especially not,
And even if he
especially
would, the
not to
players
come
union
to
won't
the
allow it.
Yankees.
Exactly.
They'll
Exactly.
say
That's why
that's what I
A-Rod
was
didn't
gonna-
go to Boston.
Yeah, and that's why I'm saying, like, especially not to come to the Yankees. Do you think the players union is going to allow him to restructure his contract to benefit the New York Yankees? Like, it's just not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
And even if it did, Patrick Corbin gave up the most hits in the National League last year.
Here's
Yeah.
a
Like
good
he
stat.
might be better than some of what we have now. Don't get me wrong, but
Right. Here's a
No,
good
I think
stat
he'd
from,
get hit even harder in the AL in our division. Actually,
absolutely.
probably would.
yeah.
Perry threw out a good stat in the comments. After sweeping the White Sox, the Yankees had the third best record in the American League. Since then, they are 5-13. The only team with a worse record in that span are the Diamondbacks, who are 2-16, the worst team in baseball, arguably, and the Rangers, who are 3-14.
See, my thing is, what happened after that series against the White
Nothing.
Sox?
They
Arby,
got
I said it-
they
over
got
their
full of
heads.
themselves.
Arby,
They
I
got
said
full
it.
of
I said it
themselves.
last time. Only thing they did was got a couple of good starts.
Mhm.
They never hit. This team,
Yeah.
that's what something. I forgot who the dude was. He said in the comments today, "Oh, but they've been hitting. Where? They haven't hit all year.
They got shut
They
out
hit.
today.
They hit in Minnesota. They hit in Minnesota. That's it.
The 2 games or
Yeah,
whatever
but
it was."
That's-
do we get credit to
They
us
hit-
or
they act- they
Minnesota
hit in-
terrible pitching?
They hit in 3. They hit in all 3 in Minnesota, but still, like, it's Minnesota.
Yeah.
One
exactly
series.
what I'm saying. Like, do we get credit to ourselves or because Minnesota poor pitching stuff?
No, I mean, I'll give them credit. I'll give them the credit that you still have to show up and win the games, because we saw what happened when they just tried to show up in Detroit thinking they were just supposed to win. They got swept. So I'll give them the credit that they didn't go to Minnesota with that mentality and actually kind of showed up a little. But it's like I was saying, like, you're gonna have to do that for more than just Minnesota, bro. Like, they were supposed to go from that series, come into Philly, and at the very least leave with a split. But you got swept. Like, so we're back to where we were last weekend.
Hey,
We're at 3 weekends straight now. 3 weekends straight where we're going into the next week feeling crappy about the offense.
Francis, you want to feel more confident in this team, but moving forward, look at this. We got Toronto next, Oakland next. After that, Kansas City and Boston and Los Angeles Angels. You tell me how that's gonna end.
They got to
Those-
play
those-
baseball. If they want to win, they got to play baseball. That's it. Does it look good? No.
No, I'm terrified right now. Just seeing that schedule moving ahead now. Toronto, Boston, Kansas City, and the Angels.
Who's gonna pitch against the Blue Jays?
Oh gosh.
They might as well put like a pitching machine on the mound and just hopefully can field some balls.
Just like Garrett Cole pitch all every single game. That's
So
what I'm saying. Like,
here's an interesting. I was just thinking about this in my head because I was thinking about one of the things that we like we said, if they ever fail a lot and they come to the deadline, if you don't have Cashman do it, who's the guy that can do it? The first name that makes sense because of they're actually in the organization now is the guy who actually brought DJ LeMahieu here, Jim Hendry, who's already been a GM. But again, do you hand the reins to somebody who never really put together a great Cubs team, put together some good playoff teams, doesn't have the greatest track record in the world, but he has a win with the Yankees. I mean, he was the leading guy to get LeMahieu. So you got
No,
that
so-
win there, but do you at least have, my point here is that you do got somebody though,
Yeah.
but you got to also hand over a major time period for the Yankees right now. There's a major couple of moments that are going to happen in the next year or so. So Hendry could be the guy right now.
I've had people saying Theo Epstein. I'm like,
That would be the greatest thing on the planet, but I don't think he
Yeah,
would ever
but-
do it.
yeah.
Didn't he already say he's looking to do like bigger things, like owning a team?
Yeah.
Or that, or I think a lot of people talk about him becoming a commissioner possibly one day.
Oh,
Please,
please. dude.
tomorrow.
Right now. How about that? Breaking news.
Yeah.
Theo Epstein's commissioner.
I think Rob Manfred should buy the Yankees. How about him for GM?
Oh my god. Oh,
You talk
Oh,
about people I don't want running a Target.
we will all be wearing skirts.
Rob-
Pink skirts. All of us.
Shaving
Oh,
mandatory,
man.
skirts mandatory.
Oh man.
With stockings.
So I guess for me it's we'll see. A lot of people in the comment section are just throwing names out there that's available to possibly help. We know a lot of those guys. We talked about a lot of them. I guess what you look forward to now is, the next couple of weeks, really. The next, 10,
Okay.
20 games tops.
20.
10, 15. I mean, I told you, if it's me, the changes are made now.
Oh yeah.
Because
Right
that's what
now.
I got. That's why I got mad when people were telling me, "Oh, well, he's gonna wait till after the draft. The draft is July 13th. You cannot wait that long." And I'm not talking about getting the Marte, but they haven't made a shot for anything. They haven't even dug through the dumpster right now.
Parata.
Dude, this team is.
They haven't called up Ambergy. They haven't called up Florial for an extended period. They haven't called up Park for any of these guys that are doing decent in AAA. They've paid no mind to. Malone.
So you just said LA Yankee Kings guy Hoy Park.
Oh yeah, because
Another
He loves that guy.
he's better than LeMahieu. He tried to argue he's better than LeMahieu.
He's better than DJ LeMahieu. He said that.
Yes.
No, he'll start him.
The
He'll
guy
start
with 2
front
batting
over DJ.
titles.
Hoy Park. So again, I'm pretty good with my Yankee prospects. Hoy Park was signed out of South Korea. If you guys remember years ago when the Yankees made a big investment to bring a lot of their players here to start baseball in South Korea. He was brought over young, maybe 16 or 17, right? Signed with the Yankees.
27.
He's 20 something. He's been in the organization for like 8 years now. 6 years in the minors. Finally has got it going. This guy is not projected to be a starter anywhere at all. If he ever did, that's a huge jump and congratulations to him. The Yankees have gotten to the point when they're looking for journeyman organizational guys to be starters in your organization. We're doomed. LA Yankee King has no clue what he's talking about. And at this point, I always was nice to him. I can't be nice no more. That's why I can't respond. It's just stupid. Either he would be better off. It's like I told Adam King before. I told Adam King this. I said, Adam, you actually have something pretty funny. You're odd. You're an odd guy. You should work off that and become popular off of it. You got a character. It's a funny character. It's blatantly rigged. Blatantly. It's funny. It's hilarious. It's rigged. Blatant ground ball to short. That only happens once in a lifetime. It's funny. So, but LA Yankee King, it's like, you're actually serious about this. You really believe these are the deals.
I don't know. I
got
still
something
think he's a
wrong.
troll.
I think he's a troll. I can't
I still
believe
think
it.
some of these. I still
gotta
think some
believe
of these deals have to be trolls because it just. And listen, hey, if that's what it is, man, more power to you. Because I guess like you're growing your following and like you got a decent number of subscribers on YouTube. So I mean, it's nothing to sneeze at for sure. But these deals aren't like that's not deals that a serious organization would make.
No.
So no, I don't think you would run the organization better than failures.
Francis,
Hal Steinbrenner and Brian
have
Cashman.
any of you ever put on a baseball simulator or video game, anything,
Dude,
and made a trade like that?
There's no
No.
way he doesn't wake up, snort a line of coke, and get on MLB. There's no way.
Oh shit! He's
Joe from left field.
Joe came
From
out of
left
nowhere.
field.
That's the first time I heard Joe just come out of nowhere and bust it out.
Joe came. He came like he just
Joe,
came like Nate Diaz,
blatantly
like
lying.
Nate Diaz in the last round of that fight. yesterday.
Yeah, yeah. He
Joe,
caught that left hook out of nowhere.
Blatantly rude, Joe. Blatantly rude.
Blatantly rude. That should
I'm
be the
telling
new
you.
hashtag.
Hey,
NYYNEWS,
that's
blatantly rude.
blatantly rude. That's mini Jake the Snake Roberts though, so you never know.
Listen,
Never know.
But
Oh,
what are you
man.
guys are right now? Currently in a sell mode, or there's still hope?
he's
make
saying.
moves.
Well, I know. LI Yankee King is saying sell mode. That's a little nuts.
His
In a
sell
sense.
mode, and the one player he wouldn't trade is Glaber.
And he's the player who I say, if we were gonna start selling, to me, he's like the first guy you have
makes
to
the most.
consider.
He does make the most sense. He really does. That
But-
he does make the most sense.
I don't know. I think we're gonna know a lot once we get through that series with the Mets around July 4th. Like by then is when like you'll see me as a fan like give you like my view on what this team is for the season period. Like because by then we'd have played the Red Sox again. We'd be through this series that we have against Toronto coming up. We'd have the Angels 4 games. Kansas City's in there somewhere, and then 3 against the Mets. So
All we need to do is sweep 1 or 2 against the Boston, Toronto. We back in it. That's the people don't understand it. People are, just give it up. It's not gonna happen. Why not? Like I said earlier,
Yeah.
it's baseball.
I'm still hopeful. I mean, I
Yeah, me
guess
too.
I don't know. Maybe I'm an asshole. I don't know. I'm hopeful.
I'm still hopeful.
I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful just because I'm a Yankee fan. Put it that way. If I'm
course.
looking at this and I take my Yankee hat off and I'm looking at it baseball wise, I don't see this team beating the Rays. I don't see them beating the Jays. I just don't. Based off the performance we've seen on the field and just the blunder. I mean, good baseball teams don't do this.
Mhm.
Good baseball teams don't do this. So that's the only reason why I'm like, I'm hopeful as a Yankee fan, and I am hopeful, and I really hope they turn it around. We have a lot of different conversations moving forward. But I tell you what, we have a lot of fun videos to make if it keeps going down. Because man, and Joe got a lot of I still can't get over that comment, bro.
Joe came from left field
with the
with
KO.
the haymaker.
I have not seen LI Yankee in the comment section at all.
man.
You killed him.
Justin,
That was a knockout.
Justin, do you have a pulse? Justin, are you out there?
He probably blocked
Yo.
Joe already. He blocked Joe.
He went to block. No, Justin doesn't block people like that,
That's
does he?
the highlight. That's gonna be on TikTok tonight, man. That's gonna be on TikTok, man. That
Joe.
gotta be. That is woo. God.
Good thing you didn't say it to Aaron Boone.
Oh man. See
Or Lindsay.
that would be us on the Zoom calls with Boone. That's
That's the problem, and that's the problem right
That's why
there.
we're getting kicked out.
That's the problem right there.
that will be it. That will be it. And then the press pass is gone, and we just outside the stadium yelling. But
We just got to Bobby V it. That's all.
Bobby V it. I mean that's oh no, he said, hey, I'm still here. So you didn't get him all the way.
There you go.
He's all right.
Hey,
He's still
even LI Yankee King has more fight than the Yankees. What do you know?
Yeah, that's right. Look at that. Look at that. LA Yankee.
What do you
King's
know?
gonna Fight.
Give him credit
But,
for that.
Yeah, I mean, well, again, I guess we're obviously going to see what's going to happen, and we're going to see if there's changes that are going to be made and whatnot. But they got options out there, man. They got options. It's not going to be easy. Would I fault Cashman if he stays around and the team doesn't make it and he makes a couple of trades? No, I wouldn't necessarily fault him, but he got to make the right moves, and it's going to be tough. And I do believe Francis is spot on. If this team gets to the point of selling, I think the best thing you could do is put a position player at their position. I think that's the best thing that you could start by doing, figuring out who's where and go from there. And seeing what you got in a Florial if you don't trade him, seeing what, like we talked about before you guys got on, the way Miguel Andujar is playing, you got to see if this guy's a constant left fielder. You got to see if he can stay there. I didn't see some of the balls to left field today. I don't know if he misplayed any of those doubles. I know there was a few doubles to left field today. I didn't watch the full game. I saw a lot of game day stuff, but you got to see what these guys are. You got to see if he is a starting left fielder. You got to see if Florial could play at this level now. You got to be able to understand it. You got to look for those type of things. And right now, they haven't done that yet. That's why I said my confidence level is low just because of what I'm seeing. And that's it.
Yeah.
We all agree with the Florio situation, but everybody keeps saying they go with the batting average and triple A. Oh, RB, he's batted 136, something like that. He's nowhere near ready. What do we have to lose right now? Who's our other options? Gardner, Tyler Wade.
What do we have to lose? More games. That's
More games.
That's it.
And like I said at the beginning, Gardner's been hitting lately.
Yeah, that is.
He has been.
That is true.
He has been.
I give him credit. Yeah, that is true.
I think that's the issue too. Is like I think to me a really big issue is this whole thing is like a revolving cycle of guys like getting hot for a little bit.
Yep.
And then going back cold as hell.
Yep.
And so it's like whenever like we get to like whatever on Guardy, he starts to hit for a couple games and then like you kind of forget how bad he's been. And then like the same thing like Torres. I keep saying it. People are like, oh, but he's been doing all right lately. I'm like, okay. But then like we'll come into a series like, for instance, right? This series this weekend, 2 games against the Phillies. What did Torres do essentially this series?
I think he had one hit today, and that's about it.
Like, and think about it. People might say like, oh yeah, but I mean, it's 2 games. It's like, yeah, it's 2 games, but Stanton was out of the lineup for the entire series because we had no DH, and Judge is out of the lineup today because of back spasms. I mean, who was kind of the next guy? If not Glaber, right? So it's like, these are things that like you got to think about. So it's like, I don't know. And again, we already spoke about it, but it's like, yeah, I don't know if it's gonna happen. I doubt it's gonna happen, but I mean, there's guys down there, man. There's guys down there like that aren't named Florial that probably could give us, a good, decent couple of weeks. And I just don't know for the life of me why we can't just get a shot. Like, why? Like, give me Ambergy. Let me just see him for a couple of weeks. What's the worst that can happen?
Right. I mean, that's my whole thing. And that's why I say I'm just concerned about the deadline. I'm concerned about, who's running this team right now. I'm concerned about a lot of things, and every Yankee fan should be, because if you're the Yankees, I mean, we talked about this last time too, of Brian Cashman before, when he would go out there and just make, little scrap deals just to fill a position because he needed it. Who's the dude for the second baseman for the Red Sox years ago? Remember, he was a dirty looking guy, but all of a sudden he started playing good baseball, and the Yankees picked him up out of nowhere because they needed the second baseman.
I do not remember.
You're not talking about Steven Drew, are you?
No.
Are you?
Right?
No, yeah.
I gotta check. He was on he started, I think he was on the 2004 Red Sox, the World Series team.
Oh, well, we're going that far back.
Yeah, it was a while back. Let me see if I can. Mark Bellhorn. Remember they picked Bellhorn up as a DFA because they just needed like an infielder or like second baseman?
Oh, we did
out of nowhere.
Him up.
But I'm just bringing up stupid names because they haven't even attempted that.
No, that's why I said Delino to Shields.
They did was Odor.
That's why I said Delino to Shields might not have been the worst thing back whenever that was a couple weeks ago.
We said that. That's the thing. We were all like, not like over the moon about it, but we were like,
at least they were doing something.
It's something. It's something.
I mean, what are the odds Cashman's just out of it? He's like, this is my last year. He's like, I probably can't do nothing to fix this team. I'm going to just let it rock.
I mean, that would be a really good resume builder for his next job.
I saw they're interested in him, probably, most likely.
I saw that he has one more year after this year.
Who?
Cash. Because I saw that the extension. I saw that the extension was after 17.
Oh, is
it?
And I started. It was a 5-year extension. Yeah. And I remember that because he had made the decision to get rid of Girardi and then the trade for Giancarlo before he even really had an extension.
Yeah, you're right.
So
5 years in December of 2017.
So next year.
So then 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021.
Yeah, one more year then.
Next year is the last year.
He can still be fired though.
Yeah.
He can still but that's what I'm saying. Like, interesting what happens there if this team continues to skid this winter.
I think Hal loves Cashman way too much. Boone will be the first one gone.
I don't think Hal knows
No.
what the hell he's doing.
Yeah, me
And
neither.
I'm just gonna keep it real. I don't think
If
Hal
he
has
loves- if
any
he-
He
idea.
has no clue.
Listen, if he loves Cashman like that, then he really doesn't know what the hell to do with his money.
You know,
Because
Like,
I'm
the-
sorry, but I'm not
Really?
giving you my
I agree.
$204 million to spend it like this, bro.
That's what I'm
Mhm.
saying. We have a $210 million payroll, and this is the product that you're given. Like, this is your team that you're creating. Like, any
come
other
on, man.
owner will fire the
Yeah.
GM right away.
I'm trying to
I
figure
was-
out how to sell $30 buckets of chicken,
Dude,
man.
I was
Like,
about-
figure it out.
I was about to say, damn, you talk about somebody, right? Your father was arguably one of the controversial, yes, to many. Winner, you could never deny it. Yeah, he had his lost seasons. You know that he
Yeah.
had tough times. He did stupid stuff. I get it. I understand that. But you can never
Undeniable
question.
winner.
You can never question that he didn't want to win. You can never
Yeah.
question that. This is your
Facts.
dad. We don't have. This is your father.
It's slap in
How
the face.
is it? How I can't comprehend. Where is your pride at? You got no pride. Where's your pride? I can't imagine.
Nobody
fir-
has pride now.
I would think every day. You know what you said? You know what you said,
I
Joe?
almost said some crazy shit.
Joe, you know what you
I
said, Joe,
bit my tongue too.
about L.I. Yankee King waking up doing cocaine? I would wake up and have nightmares of my father looking at me saying, "You're a disgrace," every day.
Yeah.
I would have my heart would be destroyed just because what I'm doing to my dad's legacy.
I'll be
Do
ashamed.
you remember that scene in Spider-Man when the Green Goblin, like
Oh, talking to his son at the end.
he comes back and he's like, "Avenge me!
Avenge me!
I always think about that. I'm like, yo, I hope George is just waking Hal up in the middle of the night. Avenge me, you son of a! Like, do you see this? Do you see? You got a shortstop who's not really a shortstop.
Oh, just tell him. What are you,
my
loser?
God.
Did I raise you as a loser?
I could just hear like in George Steinbrenner's voice, just like Tampa freaking Bay. Like
Right.
he would
George
not be able
Steinbrenner
to
was-
fathom
with
Tampa
the
Bay
pink
Oh,
owning
my
us the
God.
way that they own us right now.
He would have bought the Rays. He would have bought them. He would have bought the Rays.
Dude, he would have sent half the farm over there for Tyler Glasnow so fast.
Yo, I'm telling you.
Oh my God. He would probably let Glasnow like keep the long hair too. Like, yeah, I'll let you keep it, and then like have somebody cut it in his sleep or something.
George would have done a clean slate in this team. With
The
way they
best
perform.
is when you have the young Yankee fans say, "Yeah, but do you remember in the '80s?" No, you don't remember it. You don't.
You
Shut
don't
up.
remember the 80s.
You
Come
don't
on, what are we
remember it.
talking? Dude,
You don't remember '98.
I tell
Come
people
on.
all the time. I'm like, dude, I am a 90s baby. So I remember the 90s and
Right.
the early 2000s.
Right.
Like, so my opinion of this franchise is based off of that. What I've seen from 2010 to now looks
Yeah.
like a completely different franchise.
organization. It's not even. It's nowhere in the same realm of reality. You remember 09 when even us as fans was so spoiled. We were like, "There's no way they'll get Teixeira too." Teixeira signed. Oh,
Yeah.
shit!
Yeah.
And they got Nick Swisher.
I remember, wasn't Teixeira on Christmas too, or around
Yeah,
Christmas?
It
yeah.
was like
and-
a day or two before.
And
I
Swisher
just
was supposed to be the
remember,
first
like-
baseman. Remember, Cashman said, "No, we're not getting anybody else. Swisher's going to be the first baseman. That's what we got him. We feel his glove's good
Yeah.
there." And then all of a sudden, Mark Teixeira signs with the, and everybody's like, "Oh my God!"
And what
I
happened that
could
year?
not
We
believe.
won.
I could not
World
believe
Series.
that. I just remember that. I just could not believe it. I was like, we really are just gonna add Mark Teixeira on top
Those were the days.
of this. Oh man, you singing just gave me a call back to Ryan Beck, man. Miss that guy.
Ryan, wild man, good old
Ryan.
Ryan Beck. I could really hear a Starlin Castro impression right now.
I wish I could do that, but oh,
I know
man.
he must have been upset with Mike Talkman getting traded.
Oh yeah, he was a big fan of Talkman. But people even get that wrong, and they don't understand why people are like it was a stupid trade in a sense. Oh well, this is Mike Talkman is hitting 179 with the Giants, but that's not necessarily the point of it. The point
He's
is
an option.
you dealt an option.
Yeah.
You
Then we
dealt
traded
an
for
option.
Wandy Peralta.
Wandy. He needs a fucking
Wandy.
wand. He should come out to the
Wandy.
mound with a wand in his cap.
Wandy. This guy is like, I just like, so for instance, that deal, right? Like, I would just love to know, like, what behooved Brian Cashman to say, you know what this team needs?
More pitching.
Wandy
fucking Peralta.
Wandy freaking Peralta.
And then he made such a big deal about it, like it's the greatest trade of all time.
Like, have you seen, like, he thought Wandy was going to be like the Gio Urshela of like the bullpen this year. I would like Cash.
The Giants.
If you're
the
out
Giants
there,
are ecstatic. Yeah, give me all your minor league players. Tarvan Estrada, come bring him over here. Doing great, by the
Listen.
way, in the Giants.
Cashman, nobody cares.
He
Nobody
was
cares.
so
Wandy
quick.
Peralta.
That's
Nobody
what I'm
cares.
saying. I'm like, man, I would have flipped that shit on him so hard. They would have had to take me out the room. He'd be like, yeah, go ahead. I'm not answering. You got to leave. Get him out.
It's
I mean,
simple. Have you seen Peralta?
Have you seen Wandy?
Have-
I would have looked
have
at the
you
Met.
seen-
What?
Have you seen him? Like, what are we talking about here? This is not Zach Britton.
We're not meant for the press, guys. So we will get fired direct second.
The funny thing is, I really believe truly in my heart that we are. People love what we do. They do. There needs to be more of it. And as soon as we get it on the right, like, until as we get it in front of like the right people, the right platform, things like that, shit like this takes off. Because you know how many people feel exactly how we feel, but they don't know maybe how to articulate it as well, or they don't want to like put themselves out there on a live chat and say it because they're afraid that people are going to try to kill them. Whereas we're here because we don't care. Like, I don't care.
And I'm just going to shout us out real quick because I know nobody else is doing this. Somebody mentioned this in a comment and they said nobody else out there is doing what you guys are doing. So awesome job. We're hitting almost 3 hours. Talking nonstop Yankee baseball, no stuttering, no digging for research, just knowledge. That's impressive. So that's impressive. So like when Francis said, we got the right team here. We got the right team here, and fans appreciate it. He's right. Fans appreciate, because I saw that comment a couple of times. Like, man, this is like nonstop good stuff for 3+ hours.
How about thank you to the fans for sticking with us for 3 hours?
Yeah. I mean, they're all here. They're all here. So
you guys are the best.
It's gotten to the point where if the Yankees get swept, they reach out to us quickly. Are you guys doing a rec? A live?
Are you guys doing a roundtable?
All the time.
Are you guys venting tonight?
Arby, we want to hear some of your rants, Arby. We want to explode. Listen, we don't like. It's like Francis said. We don't care. We give the truth. You know, we stick by it, no matter what.
My days of signing with the Yes Network are done. Well, once I got in a couple of podcasts with Ryan Beck, that was it. You know, we're never.
It was over.
Never. We were never signing. And even me in general, I'm too real for. I'm being out. All of us are. I couldn't be one of those. I think the only guy that I think doesn't like Boone in a sense is Flaherty, because Flaherty throws a lot of shade Boone's way.
He does. I thought I was the only one who saw that.
No, he does. He throws. He's like, this guy sucks. You could tell in the back of his head, he just wants to be like, this guy sucks.
He'll be gone soon.
This guy sucks. Well, you know, a lot of these guys, you know,
And he loves Kevin Cash.
I mean, he was. I think he tutored him, didn't he? Wasn't he under him?
Yeah. Flash. Yeah. Flash loves Kevin Cash. And he can't hide it whenever we play the Rays. He cannot hide it.
But who wouldn't love Kevin Cash at this point?
Man.
The way he's backing up his players and all this
He's
stuff?
got a Yankee World Series ring too, so.
It's like somebody said to me the other day. They said,
Pete, the worst part of it.
Well, somebody said to me the other day, they go, Pete, why do you hate LeBron James? I go, I don't hate LeBron James. I said, I disagree with a lot of his opinions, but I respect his talent. I can never
disagree with people.
Right. I can never deny what a great talent he is. It's the same thing with Kevin Cash. I may not like him, but I'm not going to deny he's one of the best managers in baseball. I can't deny that.
Give me Kevin.
And let me tell you,
team.
as much as I dislike Kevin Cash, let the man put on pinstripes. I'll be his biggest fan.
Me too.
Oh yeah. Oh my God.
Overnight.
As a manager?
Overnight. I might get a custom jersey with his number on it.
I would have forgot everything Cora ever did if he became a Yankee manager. I would have forgot. I used to call him Alex Hora.
I've had people telling me like, wait, if Cora can, they be like, but don't you hate Alice Cora? I never uttered an ill word
I've
about
never
that.
said it in my life.
Never.
know
Oh,
what you're talking about.
Oh, what did Joe just come out with?
If Cora were to be manager, I've never said anything bad about that man in my life.
Not a damn thing. I always
Nah,
love him.
never,
What are you talking about?
I'll write a letter to Cora for apology letter.
I'd
They would
become
be like,
Puerto
but
Rican
you were-
overnight.
They'd be like, but you weren't you, Francis, weren't you really upset when he made that whole quality start comment about Severino? But no, I wasn't. He was right.
Yeah, right. That's right. Yeah, he was right.
Yeah, it wasn't a quality start.
What has Severino done for us?
What has he done for me lately?
What's he done for
What are you
us?
talking about?
Who's
I feel
Severino?
so bad. I feel so bad for Sevy, man. This is like, oh man. Is Sevy done?
Sevy might be on his way out.
I was just about to say, like, is Sevy done? Like,
Well,
gonna happen?
are you comfortable paying him $11 million next year?
No, you would trade him.
Everybody knows that.
super reclamation project right there.
Yeah.
Yep, that's
There's
the best.
definitely
That's like the
somebody-
best you can get.
There's definitely somebody who would take a flyer on that. At that price,
doubt.
what does he make? It's 11 mil?
11 million next year. Then he got an option
It's
for I think
11
like
mil?
12,
How old is he? Is he 29 or 30? How old is he
20,
now?
28.
See, we have
Oh,
so
he's
many
still
players that are up
2
for
years from
contract.
30?
I think so. Let me double check and see.
Is he really?
He signed a 4-year, $40 million. But I don't
I'm
know.
pulling it up, Pete. If you don't have.
Oh,
wait, he
shoot.
might not
He's
be on
20.
the
All
40.
right. He's 27.
Yeah, 27.
Yeah, there
He
will be
doesn't
a
turn
team.
baby.
28. He doesn't turn 28 until next February.
Yeah, a team will take a risk on him for sure.
And he's going to be a free agent very young.
Sheesh. Yeah. You know what? I'm not moving Sevy.
You not?
I just thought about. Listen, he's going to be 21 next February. I know all these injuries or whatever, but he's still ridiculously young, and the upside's still there.
See, now-
I'd run the contract out. I'd run the contract out and see if he finds a way back.
So would you pay him 15 million in 2023, depending on what he does next year? I guess.
He is a good enough
Lot of
year.
money.
Yeah.
Remains to be. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was gonna say remains to be seen. But the good thing about it sounds terrible saying injuries are a good thing, but in this sense, it kind of is. Like, even if he goes ridiculously off next year because of all the injuries, like, who's gonna give him a long-term deal?
Tough.
True.
Tough.
So that's what I'm saying. So as good as he does, it might bode well for us because we would probably say like, yeah, like, all right, listen, man, we're going to pay, the organization, you've been here, we know you, like, we'll give you this. We feel this is fair, right? And maybe give him something that has a nice option in it or something, but like nothing too crazy.
I'll be like Bill Belichick. He trades his star players a year ahead, then a year late. And everybody blast Bill Belichick. What are you doing? What is he doing? He knows what he's doing. He has that mindset. This is that's why I'm getting to the point. I'm fearful with these players that are injury prone, like Voigt, Sevy, Judge, Stan. Well, Stan, we stuck with him. You know, they're core players, but
Such a bad
them
deal.
long-term-
God Almighty. Man,
we
that's so
have
bad.
we got there's so many question marks with this team. It's unbelievable. Like, it's mind-boggling to me.
It's
Like,
crazy
we
though,
gotta-
because the one
we
guy I
gotta
wish
go-
we could move is
We got to
Hicks.
consider. Okay, we got to think about Judge, Glaber, Gio, Sanchez, Severino. Like, what? All these question marks. Are you going to give 8-year contract to Judge?
No,
Like, well, P
No.
and Joe. Well, I don't know. I think I say the max 6 or 7,
8 years for Aaron Judge would be
2 something.
would be a little bit crazy. But because
I'll be
Aaron Judge is
afraid.
going to be 30. He's going to be 30 or 31.
30,
He's
Yeah.
29 right now.
29.
Yeah,
I'll
so
give
he'll
him a
be
5-year
he'll be
deal,
30.
5 or 6
He'll be 30 by the time he's a free agent. 8 years is nuts. Like that.
Francis,
That
told you
can't
though.
happen.
But
Francis.
those
Oh.
negotiations are going to be tough.
They are.
They're
for
playing
sure.
they're playing with fire with Judge. I'm telling you, they're playing with
No,
fire.
they are.
Because
And
like me and Arby and we were talking about before you guys got on. If I'm Judge, I'm sitting there looking at him like they're stupid. You gave Aaron Hicks 7 years.
and
Yeah.
if I'm Howell and
I know it's
Cashman,
only 10 million, but hey, I mean, like, hey, come on. You guys have been waiting you signed Severino, you signed Hicks, you signed other
Yeah.
guys ahead of me.
Yeah.
I'm the one who got the damn chamber out there. You guys are obviously building the team around me. Where
But
was
that's-
my deal? You guys are waiting for me to get injured.
See, the issue is probably let's say we offer 5 or 6 years, right? I guarantee there'll be a team out there
The
calling
Angels.
Judge agent.
Telling you, I keep saying it. The
7, 8
Angels.
years, come over here. That's the
Well,
problem.
the Angels, we definitely have to worry about because
The Angels. He's from there.
Moreno, and the fact one, he's from there, and two, Moreno will spend wildly because he was willing to match whatever the hell we gave to Cole.
Yep.
Cole literally chose us. That's what it
Yeah.
was.
And
Oh,
remember too, he's from there.
Exactly. So
Exactly.
when once you combine the fact that they can match any money and they would probably be willing to go an extra year or two just because they don't seem to care about that kind of thing. Yeah, it could be a dangerous situation. San Francisco is another team to watch too.
Yep.
No, they already said it. They're going to be big spenders. They already
Yeah.
said it.
Very big spenders. Yep.
But
Texas,
they also like
another team.
they
Texas,
also
they're gonna
like
be big
Judge
spenders
a
as well.
lot. They like Judge a lot. So my whole thing is like if you're gonna pay him the way you're paying, say a DJ LeMahieu, and you want to go 6-7 years, I say
Judge is not taking a pay cut.
I say fuck it. It wouldn't be a pay. It wouldn't be a pay cut.
I mean,
he's not making that money now.
Like a reduced salary, like DJ did right now. Judge is not going to take that.
I don't know. Here's the thing. Here's the thing though. Like he can get more than that with less years. It always matters with the players. It's always going to matter like what's important to the player and how and what the implication is to the player's organization. So this whole first of all, we got the CBA coming up, which whenever that comes, I'm sure we're going to have tons of content around that because that's going to be huge.
Yeah,
that's going to be really big, especially for a team like the Yankees. Like what we need that luxury tax threshold to go up. We need because 210 is close. 210 is close, but it's probably still not enough for teams like us, teams like the Dodgers, even like it's a little still low. And with these inflated salaries, like it is what it is, man. Teams are going to be blowing through that.
What would be a good amount? What would be a good line-in for the luxury tax? What would you say? To what?
250.
I'd say two. Yeah, I was gonna honestly say 240, but I think 240, 250.
Yeah, I said 250 as well.
For starters. Like I would say 240, right? And then the first like cash penalty at 250 or something. So like if you go over the 240, like then you get the major drop in the draft picks. If you go over 250, you have to pay actual tax. Yeah. And if you go over 260, then the whole you know what I mean? Like I don't know. I'm not that's not my freaking branch of negotiations and stuff. So they'll figure that out.
That makes sense though.
But that's because they had what the thing with the Dodgers is that they had a team that was already performing under the threshold. So they rewarded basically that team and said, you know what? You guys just want a ring. We're going to run it back and we're going to make you even better. We're going to get you another freaking pitcher because they earned it in a sense. Like that's what we were saying before with House. Like the Yankees haven't earned Hal blowing through the threshold in 2021. Like I could see if after 2017 he said, you know what, we got this close, fuck it, let's go and get this and this, but there really wasn't all of that out there, except for like trades and stuff, which we didn't make because cash god. But in 2021, it doesn't make sense for him to blow through that threshold. But yeah, basically the CBA is going to be really, really, really important.
Very important.
It's going to be very important with the Stanton deal that we have on the books already, with the Cole deal that we have on the books already, with Glaber eventually needing to be paid. But again, this is why I say if we are going to make a move for like a real shakeup, I think Glaber is the move to make. Why? Because he could end up being more expensive than anybody else we have coming up on an expiring contract. Like, I think moving Glaber is the Belichick move that you're thinking about, Arby.
I'm telling you right now, Carlos Correa, there's a report Carlos Correa is pushing for 340 what Lindor got in free agent.
My God.
God bless him.
Carlos Correa himself,
that's nuts.
Lindor, congratulated him, and he said he's pushing for that.
These guys got some balls, man.
Guys, can you imagine
Glaber if he keeps developing and keeps getting better? Imagine.
I mean,
many
of these guys, I could kind of understand some of them being like, yeah, I'm good, I'm happy. I play baseball. You know what I mean? Oh, we lost.
But
Well,
Glaber,
fans are
Glaber
screaming
right
ahead.
now-
They're like, "Yeah, I'm off to Punta Cana for a month." Don't worry.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Yeah.
Like, oh, they'd be like, you guys lost. He'd be like, no, you lost.
Yeah,
I
you
made
lost.
340
You lost.
I
You
made
lost,
$340
bitch.
million.
You lost,
I didn't lose
bitch.
a damn. I didn't lose a damn thing.
So if because you know how some people said that I think Pete, you said it earlier, not today though, a while ago, that the Yankees had the Yankees don't want to trade for a shortstop in Trevor because they had interest in Seager.
Yeah.
If Carlos Correa is asking for 340 supposedly, imagine what he's gonna ask Seager. And you think Hal's gonna give it
Seager's older though.
by what, a year or two? But he fits.
Not sure.
He's a perfect. He fits perfect for this team, though. That's the thing.
Well,
A lot of these guys
absolutely.
do, but
Seager, left-handed. Oh my God! But if Correa is asking for that, supposedly, imagine Seager. Do you think Hal's gonna give another big contract like that?
I don't think Seager. I don't think Seager connects for as much as
Yeah, I
Correa
don't either.
I don't know. I don't know why I'm gonna do this, but I'm gonna wrap this up with a comment from Li Yankee King. I'm sorry to do this, but I just have to because I almost want to get him in the chat. No joke, like not live, but where we can almost have like an intervention. Because here's his.
We got to record that.
I bet you Steve Cohen is waiting for Cole to request a trade so he can pair him with DeGrom.
Take me out, Pete.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then Steve Cohen will wake up
Just
from his dream.
Just like what Boone said, get out of here with that.
Yo, Joe,
Hashtag.
you are so Joe.
No.
You are so vital to these.
Joe, I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep it real.
Ever
You
forget
know,
it.
I'm gonna keep it real with Joe. I kind of like that Joe's not on camera.
Yeah,
Out of nowhere.
because it just comes from literally nowhere.
Nowhere.
His voice just pops out of nowhere. You know, he's like that out of nowhere. He was hot. He was mad. He break every morning he gets like sniff some cocaine. Like, damn. Like, shit.
I said, oh my.
Joe came out of nowhere with that.
Joe's like watching Clint Frazier play left field. The easy pop-ups, you're like, where the heck is he? The ones that he's got to lay out for, like full extension, he's got him. He's right there.
Yo.
Joe's the hitman of the crew.
If Garrett Cole
somebody
ever,
off, man. Joe going out there.
No,
if Garrett Cole ever
out.
wears a Mets jersey, if he ever wears a Mets jersey,
How got a
Yeah.
17?
I don't
How
know, man.
cash is Joe?
That's my final comment. If Garrett Cole ever wears a Mets jersey, like in his prime, I don't mean like at the end of his career, in his prime, you're gonna see a very bad side of Francis Lee. Like at the
Hey
very
man, Joe
That's
got some fans that comment. Joe's the man. Oh, we also had another comment that said, I watched the Yes Network all day. This is by far better television than anything they put on.
Hey,
So, you know, we appreciate that.
salute.
With that being said, guys, we have pushed past 3 hours. Unbelievable. Wow. I mean, that is definitely impressive. Hopefully, I don't know what we have to talk about next time. We're going to find out. I mean, it looks like this is just one of those wild years that either things are just going to click and get into place or really shit's going to hit the fan. That's the way it looks. So it'll be interesting. So for myself, for Arby, Killer Joe, Francis, Austin, the whole NYY News team. Adios, guys. Thank you for joining.